Hello, everyone. Welcome back to season 2, episode 3 of Uppies for Beauties and Baddies. Welcome, everyone, to Uppies for Beauties and Baddies, the BIPOC POC experience, where I, your host, Blaze at Midnight, the baddest drag queen VTuber here on Twitch, invite some incredibly talented creatives to spend a little time with me while getting grilled in the Dragon's Den. Today we have Xander Digital discussing themselves, their journey into content creation, and anything they wish to speak their truth on. Mods drop the socials, viewers peep the chat, and be sure to follow these beauties and baddies to know where it's at. Time to celebrate and elevate. Let's get it poppin'. So Xander, you want to introduce yourself to the masses?
Yes, I am Xander, aka Xander Digital, musical artist and producer who got isekai'd into the internet. And I'm also a variety streamer. I'm here for great vibes, great times, and that's pretty much it.
Love to see it. Love to see it. Yes, I am very glad to have Xander on the show with me today. Wanted to make sure that, all folks that I know who, well, I won't be able to invite everybody within the same month, but I did want to invite some very talented individuals who I feel should get some more representation, discoverability, and visibility on the platform for all that they do. So hopefully today's episode you will get some good insight into Xander's journey, Xander's content, and may even want to drop him a follow. And thank you, mods, for dropping these socials. Make sure to follow Xander if you can. Oh, speaking of which, see, I knew I forgot something. It's okay. Y'all click on his name in the title, please. if you need to follow him. I don't have the shout out command set up, and that's the one thing I meant to set up for the bot, but that's okay. It's all right. I'm gonna have that set up next time. This month's been a little bit of scuff, but thank you, mods. See, what would I do without y'all? Thank you so much. All right.
I mean, what's a stream without scuff, right?
Honestly. Oh gosh. Okay. So we don't have again an activity planned for today, so it's just another just chatting stream and just really just unwinding. I get to grill Xander with a slew of questions, and you guys can do the same as well. Like I said, from yesterday's stream and all the other streams that we've done for Uppies for Beauties and Baddies, y'all are more than welcome to drop questions in the chat. We will get to them roughly towards the end of stream, and if not towards the end, some may be interjected in between. So feel free to ask, and also feel free to use the highlight message in case you see that your question may have gotten missed or just may not have been seen at the moment. But let's get started with the very first question, which is, how did you get into content creation?
Honestly, I kind of just stumbled my way into this. If we're being honest, I wanted to not be like the focus, like my face not be the focus. Not saying that I had any like self-image issues or anything, because honestly, I think I'm pretty handsome. But there's some days where I'm just like, I don't want like to show my face every single time, right? So I was just like, how can I find a way of expressing myself without doing that? And somehow VTubing showed up. And I was like, that might be an idea. And here we are.
Nice. Oh, man. So when you looked into VTubing, what was the first thing that popped up for you when you decided to investigate it a little bit more?
The first person I think I saw, actually no, the first person I know I saw was Kilokuma.
Oh my god, you're the second person I had on where Kilokuma introduced VTubing to other people. I love that.
Yeah,
because Tiffany said the same thing.
Yeah, I saw a video. I saw a video because I saw VTubing, and I looked it up, and Kilokuma's video was the first one to pop up for me, and I was like, oh, okay, all right. And then the second VTuber I saw was Kishin.
Of course, my VTuber brother. Cause like the way that he blew up the internet with his MUBA. I am not surprised that he influenced a lot of people to get into VTubing, which I honestly do love that. And I know we talked about this, I think during Tiffany's Black History month stream, where we praised a lot of things with like Lovmura and Kilakuma because they were like two of the main VTubing artists where a lot of people paid attention to them and the models that they created that showed a great diverse representation of like POC VTubers. So I love that artists were those two artists were like one of the two foundations in terms of like getting other people into the VTubing sphere at the end of the day. But that's dope.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my lord, it's just I just found it hilarious, like because that was just like the most like like when it was just pure coincidence. I had no
Mm.
idea what VTubing was at the time either. Like I was just like, you know what, that seems cool, and then I
Yep.
was like, yeah, yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Listen, it's the way that Ansta did that for me when she had. I don't know if it was like her version one or whatever the one that I saw where it was like very flat scale cell shaded one that she used to rock with a lot. I saw that one day and just like how much fun she had on stream using that model, and I was like, oh, I want to be like that. This seems cool, but also very expensive because like when I looked at like the movements, especially for like 3D models, I was just like, I'm gonna have to buy like a bodysuit and like a whole bunch of things that go on like my hands and everything else in order to do this. This sounds like it could get into like the 3,000s, 4,000s, and I'm just like, I ain't that rich. I just listen. I just do this for fun. What do you mean? But then when I looked into it and saw that live 2D VTubing, all you needed was just basically like a tracker, like a cam tracker. I was like, oh, that's feasible. Okay, I can do that. It's not as expensive as I thought. I mean, granted, VTubing is still expensive, but it's just, it ain't like 5 to 10 to 20,000 forced upon me in terms of using a model like ours.
Right,
So,
right.
because like if it was that much, I'd be like, I don't know if I want to get into it.
Yeah, like I was thinking it was gonna cost like an arm and a leg, and then like, me being 3D. I'm not gonna lie. I started off. I'm still using a Vroid to this day. Look,
Hmm.
I know, like they don't make bodies like this in Vroid. That's a Blender. But no, I'm still getting into like making like certain stuff. But like when I started off with like the OG Vroid, and oh my lord, when I tell you, like it's come a long way since then.
Oh
I think I
man.
still have my first design. Oh my lord. But it's just hilarious how far it's come.
Yeah.
Um yeah, so many things, like so many things have changed since then, and I'm actually loving how it's like changed.
I love that. Yeah, because I know a lot of people when it comes to like VTubing, they don't know where to begin or how much it'll cost them just to like get into it. So I know like I don't know the full like breakdown of like using Vroid, but I assume it's like a little more cost friendly than like obviously going to somebody and being like, hey, can you build out this body and outfit and everything else for this 3D model that I'm trying to use for streams.
Yeah. It is a lot more cost friendly because I mean, if you don't know, Vroid Studio is free 99.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
yeah, there you
free
go.
99. So all you got to do is really know how to, like, if you have any form of art experience, you can map it all out and stuff. Like, you could do it yourself, you can build it up yourself. And then it say, if you're not really happy with like the body types, you could do what I did. Or if you don't have the time or the patience for that, you could always, shell out a couple dollars, maybe like 100, 200 to somebody who has blender knowledge, and they could probably like do more, like blender or unity knowledge, preferably
Gotcha.
both.
Okay, okay. Good to know.
But yeah.
See, you giving me tips because, like, I still am lost in the wind in terms of like what all goes into a 3D model. I'm just like, oh, one day, not today, but one day, I would like to see myself in 3D. We'll see.
Yeah, it's. I would say it's a little bit complicated, but at the same
Hmm.
time, like getting into 3D, it is. I'm saying if you go the V-Roid route, it is cost friendly. It is a lot more like cost friendly.
Gotcha. I might play around with it. We'll see. We'll see. I'm still gonna put it on the
Yeah,
back burner, but one day I may try it out.
yeah,
So when you started streaming, you said you started out as a VTuber, correct?
yeah.
Would there ever be a time during your content creator uh, career that you would switch over to IRL cam streams, or have you done IRL cam streams before?
I've never done well. Technically, I have. I mean, a hand cam stream, but like, does that really even count?
No.
Yeah,
No.
no. I've done like hand cam stream, but like I haven't done like full on like IRL, like yo, welcome to the life of Xander Digital. Like, no, I haven't done that.
Okay, okay. Would you ever think about doing something like that to where you show your face on cam, not necessarily go out and about and be like, yeah, this is my life necessarily, but like play games or do what you normally would do on stream just with a face cam. I guess I should specify a little bit more.
Um, if I did it, it would probably be like a subathon thing,
Okay.
you know? Like if I made it a goal, you know? Like probably. But I'm still 50-50. Most likely no, but small chance.
No, there's no shame in that. I always ask people that, mainly just because I like to kind of like gauge people's comfortability with like streaming on cam versus behind an avatar. And I know like I came into streaming as an IRL cam streamer before I became a VTuber, but I've also seen people start off as a VTuber and then go the IRL cam route, or either do like a mixture of both. So it's like it's interesting hearing like the different perspectives that
Yeah.
people have regarding.
I mean, technically, so it wasn't my own stream, but I was on a friend stream,
Hmm.
and it was IRL. Technically, I could say yes, but in terms of my own content, no.
That's fair. Is there any reason in particular as to why? And you're
Honestly,
more than
I
welcome to say no
feel
if you don't want to answer it too.
honestly, no, no, no. I feel like okay, so like I don't have like any issues with like the way I look or anything like that. But then like I feel like if I were, I would be thinking like, okay, all right, like I ain't got nothing on my face. Like, hold on, like am I dressed good? Like, do I look good? Hold up, is the light hitting me right? Like, and like I don't want to worry about that too much. Like sometimes
Yeah.
I just want to get on the stream and go.
Yeah, no, that's very valid because those were the things that really bothered me when it came to like IRL cam streams. Because like um going into it, most people that I saw who had like better success, they showed like their facial expressions, they showed what they look like. And though I wasn't fully comfortable, like granted, if you see me out in the wild, I don't mind taking pictures, I don't mind that.
Hmm.
That's whatever to me. But like streaming and putting my face in a video out there into the world on the internet is just like, I don't like it. which is why even to this day, granted you can see like all my IRL clips on Twitch. I don't really care. But you won't see it on YouTube. And if so, you'll see my face probably on like BGC's stream, because like there it's just like that's kind of like my home. I don't mind that. I did a lot of IRL cam streams over there, so I don't care. But like for my content in my space, I prefer and wish to be acknowledged and represented as the avatar that I'm behind versus what I look like behind the avatar in those spaces. So
Yeah,
understandable.
I totally get that. Like when I was making my model, I based it like off of my IRL self,
Mm-hmm.
right? That was kind of like the blueprint. I was like, I want to represent myself in a way, I want to be like, I want to be able to like look at that and be like, yeah, that's how I'd want to represent myself, like
Right.
out here. Like, yeah, of course. So like for those who have seen me, because like I have like of course taken selfies, like I'm not like scared to put
I've
myself
seen them.
out there. I just be yeah, I just be lazy and I don't want to like, show my face on stream 24/7.
Yeah, no. Very real. Very real.
Like most people say, "Oh yeah, that's him. That's him."
And it's like plus, you know how viewers can also be when it comes to judging folks' face and like be like, oh well, you, because I know I got a couple of comments like that when I was doing IRL camp streams where people are like, oh well, you look pretty today. Keyword
Yeah.
today. It's like, dang
Yeah.
man, was I ugly like the rest of this month? Like, what you mean today? Where did that come from?
There goes hand tracking. All right.
Oh no, not this.
Oh no. Okay, so here's the thing about like having like the hand tracking. So like of course like you get yourself like a leap motion, right?
Mhm.
Um, sometimes they overheat, so I just gotta unplug it for a little bit,
Oh.
and once I do that, we're good. We're good. Like I gotta unplug it for a bit, let it chill out. Maybe I can use it a little bit later.
Well, bet.
Keyword maybe.
Yeah, listen. Again, you are informing me of the things that I do not know about 3D VTubing, and I already know I have some friends. I'm not gonna call them out, who are also curious about like 3D VTubing and wanting to get into it. Can you share any sort of tools that you learned about as you were, embarking onto VTubing that helped you sort of like get started and invest into 3D VTubing?
Well, for somebody who is just starting out, I would highly recommend if you're going to get into 3D VTubing, if you have any form of art knowledge whatsoever and you know how you want to look, go to the Vroid Studio. Go to Vroid Studio, absolutely free, no money, right? You don't have to worry about that. Second, once you get yourself a model in there, you can use VC Face, which is the standard, right? But there's other options out there, such as like VNeon, which requires you to have VC Face. But one thing that doesn't require you to have VC Face is Warudo. You can face track from Warudo, and it might be a little more intensive, but that's because you can load in environments and backgrounds. So
Mm.
those are definitely some things that I would definitely say to look out for, or to and you wouldn't have to spend a single dime, like a single cent. So yeah.
Okay. Okay. Good tips to have. When you first started streaming, what did your original setup look like? And do you still have that setup today or have you upgraded?
Oh, I've upgraded. My original setup was look, I remember when I first started, I had like the most bootleg setup known to man. I had a MacBook that like had Windows on it.
Oh God.
And I was
Oh.
using like the janky little webcam that was on there. And I was probably tracking it like what, like 10 frames a second.
Oh my God. That's wow. Oh.
Oh my lord.
Listen, whatever gets you started, you go with it, because I know when I first started streaming, all I had was, surprisingly, I still don't know how I afforded like a Elgato Stream Deck, but I guess that was the thing that I was just like, oh, okay, this is how I get it, because I remember my first stream was Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. That's the one thing that I
Mm.
remember that still is fresh in my mind today, is like somehow I streamed my Switch. So I was just like, I had to have a capture card because there was no other way that you could stream a Switch. Um, but yes, I had that. I remember I had like two bar stools on the side set up to like prop up like my mic and cam because I didn't have a dedicated like desk. And then I had
Mhm.
like my TV on the side, my PC tower next to it, and then my papasan um facing at a 90-degree angle from it. So like the TV wasn't in front of me, it was to the left of me. So anytime I streamed, you would always see me doing this number and looking over towards the left. And a lot of people were questioning, was just like, why you always look to the left when you stream? It's just like, because I'm broke. I don't have like a whole monitor set up in front of me. Like, this is what you get. I don't know how else to stream this, because I couldn't do it from my couch because there's like a whole yard between like the TV and the couch.
Mhm.
So it wasn't
Yeah.
gonna work that way with playing games. So I had to go with the object that was closest to me, which was my papa son at the time. So um
No, that is actually valid. Oh man. No, I just know when I first streamed for like the first 2 months, because it was just like I didn't know if I was gonna like if I was actually gonna do it. Like
mhm.
I was like, this is a cool little thing. I don't know if I'm actually gonna like, do this. Like within like the first month, like I had like this rickety wooden table as my desk. I had like that janky little laptop, that MacBook with the janky little webcam on it, and like I had like the most bootleg like V-Roid looking model ever.
Oh
But
man.
I made it work.
That's
And then
right.
like when I hit like affiliate like the month later, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna be a little more serious about it. Invested into an Elgato, which I still have. I need to get another one because it's crying for help sometimes.
Mhm.
But I invested into an Elgato, got a better desk, and then like and like visually got like eventually got a monitor. I was like, what's the word? And I'll have two. So
Nice.
we,
See,
we good.
that's what you gotta do. Slowly build up. I tell folks
Yeah.
that all the time. Slowly build up. Please don't go out here spending like 10 grand on like getting four monitors, a keyboard, a nice mouse, some headsets, stream deck, all that stuff, and then you only stream for like a week and then you give up. Don't do that.
Yeah. I did not think I was going to still be streaming in 2025. Like when I started
Mhm.
in 2020, I did not think I'd still be here.
That's a long time when I think about that too, because it does not feel like it's been like 5 years between that time span. It feels like it's only like 1 or 2 years have passed, but it's definitely been roughly about 5 years. Wow.
Yeah, yeah. Like I started at the tail end of 2020 as well. So it wasn't
Mm,
like I know like the VTuber boom was at like 2020.
yeah.
And like there were so many people who came in like probably like mid 2020, early 2020.
Mm-hmm.
I came in like right at the tail end. Like I started in like October, like at the tail end of
Yep.
October. And then like I just been running ever since.
I love that. I absolutely adore that for you. Also, a question from the crowd. Shiki Duh asks, please explain your love for blue eyes white dragons.
Oh Lord. Okay, Shiki. Okay, Shiki is a good friend of mine, and we play Yu-Gi-Oh every Tuesday. So listen. Blue Eyes White Dragon. Look, I loved Blue Eyes White Dragon because like my favorite character in like season one of Yu-Gi-Oh was Seto Kaiba. I just like how
Oh
petty
my
he was.
god.
Yeah, I liked how petty he was towards Joey Wheeler. he was just like, he was just like, he's like, all right, everybody who comes to this duel and is late is automatically disqualified. Hey, little bro, make sure that Joey Wheeler's late. Like,
Dang!
it's like, do whatever you got to do. And then like the dragons, like the concept of the dragons, they were just like, I don't know, they just seemed so cool. Especially
Yeah.
when they came in, like every time they animated them to like come in during the summons, it just seemed so cool. And that's where my love for him started.
Valid. Very valid. Okay, so the question I'm sure some of our viewers have been wondering, even though you touched on it a little bit, what does your content mainly focus on and why?
So my content mainly focuses on, well, I'm a music artist and a producer. So I do a lot of like, I've done a lot of music over like the time that I have been streaming. It's like the second most thing I have streamed on my channel ever. So um I work on a lot of things and in terms of like music because that's just something that I've always loved. Um I like producing, I like making music, I like recording stuff. Haven't been able to record stuff as much, but producing, I have done so much work on that. I remember, shoot, there was one year I managed to make 300 beats in a year.
Wow!
Yeah, yeah, that
How?
was like, look, I used to stream it twice a week, every week, and some streams I would make more than one. So I was putting in a lot of work.
That still blows my mind how like music producers can do that, cuz like I'm sorry. Anyone who can create music, y'all have the utmost respect for me because I don't know how you guys are able to put together sounds so well to where it just flows and just chef's kiss. It comes out as like a good beat.
Yeah. But apart from that, like, yeah, that is my main thing. But I do variety of things. Like, I don't always stream music because sometimes you just can't force it. You know,
Yeah.
that's the one thing. Anything, because it is an art. You just can't force something to come out. Otherwise, it's not going to sound good. That's something I had to learn. Um, because that's how I pushed myself to get through like 300 plus beats in a year one time.
Oh
And like
gosh.
most of them I will admit sounded good to me. Other people said it sounded good, but I do know I had like my couple of like ones that I'm just like, all right, we just gonna like lock you away, and we just gonna like, yeah, you're never gonna come out the vault, like we're just gonna pretend like you weren't there.
It's like it didn't happen. Never happened. Don't worry about it. Um, that's probably me with like a couple of videos, which y'all will never see the end of day. Like never. It will never see the light of day of like skits that I put together in my very early days of content creation because I even hated them. But it is what it is. but also because I lost it. So guess we'll never see it.
Since we want Blaze rap song finished, oh my lord.
I don't know what they're talking about. Who is Savvy Little Minx? Are you new here? I'm sorry. I've never seen you in my life before. But welcome to the stream. How are you? Not song, please. Oh, and there's
Hey,
Tay. King Tater Tot. Mm-hmm.
hey, if you ever need help with making music, I got you.
Please. Like, I just want to watch people go through the process, because like it's so interesting to me whenever I see people put together beats. I'm just like, how do you do this? Like I just want to understand the craft and the ear that you have to have. And mind you, I used to be in band, but I still couldn't like sit down and be like, you know what, I'm gonna write a song today and put together
Wait,
these notes like on the piano or like the clarinet or some other instrument.
I was just about to ask you what instruments did you play? Because I was also in band.
Oh, I mean, I play clarinet. I
Okay.
play clarinet in
I
both symphonic and marching band.
I surprisingly enough, I was a trumpeter.
Oh my god, you're a brass person.
Yeah. I was on the trumpet. Um, I did like originally want to be on the drum line because I already like because I would practice drums. I was practicing drums so I could get on the drum line, but like there were too many
Mm.
people in the drum line, and they were like, "Hey, we got too many people in the drum line. Do you know how to play another instrument?" And I was like, "Well, I know a little bit of trumpet." And they were like, "You're in. We only have three of them." No, actually, at the time there was only two of them, and they were like, "Your third one, your third trumpet." And I was like, "Man, I gotta carry y'all."
Right. It's like I kind of wanted to get into percussion when I was doing marching band. And the only reason was because my band director at the time, he was very creative when it came to like setting up like the different routines that he had for us on the field. But one of them was where he had like the, I think it was pretty much, if it wasn't just the woodwinds, it was also some of the brass winds, put down their instruments in the middle of like a game, and then pick up like one of those drum heads. And we just kind of got onto like one knee or like sat in place and then just started banging on them for like, maybe a minute or two. And then we drop them and then like pick up back our instruments and like go back and like, play and do the different formations on the field. I was like, I kind of want to do this. It's fun. I want to bang a drum. I won't know what I'm doing, but it's just like I want to bang a drum. That's all I want to do.
Nah, like okay, so like marching band was
Mm.
insane because if one person in the band messed up, like I'm talking about like if they did something stupid and like got everybody in trouble, the whole band had to suffer. They're like, nah,
Yep.
we finna march. It's like
Yep.
your punishment. We marching until I'm tired, and I'm like, oh, I hate it here.
Yep.
So like the amount of stamina that I had to build up while practicing like blowing a trumpet and then marching around like a big building like for however many laps we had to march was insane. Like,
That
oh,
part. That part. Because, like, my band directors were the same way, where it's just like, if somebody messed up on the field, one person, it's not just that one person that gets punished. All of us has to do it. If not just, oh, the one person gonna run this lap, we gonna sit and watch them run those laps. And now the rest of y'all gotta do it. And I'm like, now see here. Why can't y'all act right? 'Cause I ain't trying to like run extra laps. It's already hot out here. I'm already like 10 shades darker than my natural skin. Like, come on now.
yeah. And it was terrible because we always had one like class clown who thought it was
Mm-hmm.
always funny to play pranks and do
Yep.
stupid stuff. And so we was always out there marching and it will be hot and we was fully geared up.
Yep. It's just like they didn't care. They said, no, I'm gonna make y'all lives suffer today. I don't care. I want to be a clown.
Oh no,
Ugh.
Shiki hit me with the one band, one sound. I'm getting
Yes.
PTSD.
Yes. Yes. Lord have mercy. I haven't thought about that in years. Good Lord. Do you consider yourself as an introvert or an extrovert? during your streams? And does it
Honestly, I'm a little
show?
more honestly, I'm a bit of an ambivert.
Okay.
So like I have extroverted tendencies, but like I also I'm like outward. I'm more outward, but I have those times where I am a bit of an introvert. So like I'm cool with being out there. I'm cool with like expressing myself and like being super energetic. But like I have that battery, so
Yeah.
it's like after a while, like it's not every single day, but some days I have my days where it's just like, all right, I can only be around a certain group of people.
Yep. it that's it be hitting me the same way as well, where it's just like my social battery is like low, and it's just like no disrespect, and this is why I tell people on Sundays is after 6 p.m. unless you are extremely, and I mean extremely close to me, like, and I hate to be like this TMI, but like barefoot, no, that's not what they go by. Tasha said it best. They showed a picture of themselves on the toilet with their best friend across the way. And mind you, the door is open. They can see them basically just, doing their business on the toilet.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can bother me. If we ain't that close, I love you. I'll see you Monday. Don't contact me.
Yeah, I definitely have those days where it's just like, all right, look, if we not locked in, I'm not talking.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. And then like if I do stream on those days, like I like pretty much put it out there. I'm like, hey, this is a low energy stream, low
Right.
vibe. So like, we're not getting up to like the usual antics. I just want to let y'all know.
Yep. You gotta let them know. What is something that motivates you to create when it comes to curating content on the platform?
Something that motivates me. Well, I don't know. Like I like I like challenge per se. So like something that kind of challenges me. If I feel like challenged to do something, it kind of makes me do it, want to do it more. Um, like if I try to set goals for myself. So like say like, oh okay, you know, I think I should make I should try and like do a stream that I know I can like make like a bunch of stuff out of. So like say if say like I want to like get into like more like TikToks and stuff like that, right? So like I'll plan out a stream that is like that I know is going to be chaotic and ridiculous and probably goofy. Something that I could get a lot of moments out of, and then I'll go for that.
That's fair. What platforms or spaces do you feel you have formed the most bonds with other creatives?
The most bonds with other creators, well, before Twitter became Twitter, what it is right now, at least. Yeah, Twitter.
Okay, okay.
Most definitely Twitter. Blue Sky is like another good one, but like mostly, mostly, mostly Twitter, Blue Sky, Discord. So
That's fair. That's fair. It's like I feel like Twitter and Twitch to a degree have been like the two platforms that were top contenders in terms of like meeting people who I was able to make like a really good connection with in terms of like friendships, not like, oh, I spy a new viewer, let me grab them to my stream, not like that. But just more
yeah,
so
yeah.
like, it's just like, oh, this person seems cool. It's just like let me kick it with them cuz I know like some of my closest friends, we just started DMing each other in on Twitter or either just engaging with one another on Twitter, and then eventually we'd be hanging out in each other's streams on Twitch, and then we just friends after that sometimes. Um,
Hmm.
I can't say that happens now as of late for personal reasons, but still back then when, Twitter was still Twitter and not Zitter or Shitter or whatever you want to call it. Um it was a great
That's a more
place to
accurate
like
name.
yes. It was a great place to actually like farm long-lasting relationships with other people. Um what is one of your biggest pet peeves as a content creator?
Mm. Uh, One of my biggest pet peeves is when people act overly familiar.
Oh, elaborate. Elaborate, because I
Okay.
like this one.
Okay. When people act like overly familiar, like when they feel like they could just jump in, and then like just talk to you just any kind of way,
Mm-hmm.
like, like I know in the past, right? So I've in the past, like I've had some like gag redeems and stuff like that where like, oh, I got a maid dress on or something like that. Or, something crazy like that. And then like somebody come in and be like, ooh, who's my good little bottom? I'm just like, okay, yeah, no, you can't
What?
talk to me
Oh
like that,
no.
bruh. Like, I'm like, don't get it twisted. Like and I'm just like, yeah, no, don't you can't. It's like, don't let the
Mm-mm.
dress fool you. Like,
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Ooh, it's just like, part of me just like, you know what? I wish someone would try me today. I really do. I wish somebody would try me today by saying that in my stream and just see what happens to them in real time. Just see. No one do
or
that
like,
here, cause you will get banned. Just
or
FYI.
like another one that gets on my nerves sometimes. So like somebody who will see, like somebody who might be new to the chat, they might see how like some of like me and my friends like interact with each other on streams, and they'll try and like replicate that. And I'm just like, look,
Yep.
we are not there. We are not there. Like like we talk like this to each other because we know the dynamic. You are not a part of this dynamic. I'm gonna need you to
Exactly.
like reel that back in.
Yep. It's like you a stranger, my guy. Like we don't know you. I'm sorry. You're gonna have to like fill out, like read the room, fill out the room and the people that reside there before you say something. Cause that, and I get that like not everybody has that ability to be able to do so, but I'm gonna need you to
Hmm.
pick up that talent real quick because otherwise, I'm sorry, you will see yourself towards that door with a quickness,
Exactly.
with a
Exactly.
quickness.
And I
So,
think the last pet peeve that I have, and this is this is a part of the over familiarity thing. So one of the things that I struggle with, and for a while, like I used to hate my voice because of this.
mm,
Because I have a deeper voice, right? And I hit deeper tones, and like there's some days where like I sound even deeper than this because I'm just like real chill or laid back. Um, you get those people who are into that, and
oh
then they start getting
god.
like really flirtatious in the chat, and like
Mm-hmm.
they start calling you like pet names and saying stuff
Mm-hmm.
like ooh. Like I think the worst one, like somebody jumped in my chat, they heard my voice, and they called me daddy, and I was like, ew, get out of here.
Yeah, no. Oh, it always be the VTuber community. I'm sorry. We talked about this yesterday too, where it's just like, listen, the cam streamers have their own battles to fight, but also the VTubing realm is just really weird with parasocial relationships and just how people, and I get it, like there's an avatar on screen, but like at the same time I need people to understand there's a human being behind the avatar that you see on screen, baby.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking to somebody who's real and on the earth and has a human body, not just the avatar that you see on screen. Like, I get that you have the hots for pixels, but you're gonna have to calm that down till you understand boundaries. So,
Yeah. Yeah. What's up,
Oh.
Okami? I see you.
Also, those just joining the stream, welcome everyone to a little stream series that I like to call Uppies for Beauties and Baddies, the BIPOC POC experience, where I, your host, Blaze at Midnight, the baddest dragon queen VTuber here on Twitch, invite some incredibly talented individuals to spend a little time with me while getting grilled in the Dragon's Den. Today we have Xander Digital, discussing themselves, their journey into content creation, and anything they wish to speak their truth on. Mods drop the socials, viewers peep the chat, and be sure to follow these beauties and baddies to know where it's at. Time to celebrate and elevate. Let's get it poppin'. So, no, you're good. You're good. I know, like, people who typically come into my streams, they're like, Blaze, are you playing a game? Just chatting, this, that, and the other. But no, whenever you see this background and the title that says Uppies for Beauties and Baddies, this is usually like it's my stream series. That's a talk show, podcast, whatever you want to call it. I actually have some episodes already from when I did this last year a bit on my VODs channel, so y'all can go through, see the folks that I invited last year, and I plan on doing this hopefully throughout the rest of this year. I know I had to cut it short last year early because of life things and trying to schedule folks at particular times and get feedback from them in a timely manner. So yeah, we're now picking it back up, and it's just my way of introducing you guys to other Black Indigenous people of color who reside in this VTubing sphere, but not only the VTubing sphere, the cam sphere, because I do invite cam streamers onto my show as well. So I'm very honored and glad to have Xander Digital, excuse me. Not me calling you by just your last name.
Hey, I am digital.
On the stream today. And also those of y'all just joining the stream too, if you have any questions, Mr. Digital.
Just you flatter me. Mr. Digital was my father.
If you have any questions for Xander today, please feel free to drop them in chat. You can do the highlight message to help out myself and the mods, grab them as they go. Typically, I'll either interject a couple of them in if I see them as they come, or we'll wait towards the end. But for the most part, I'm going to be focused on Xander. So if y'all come in and you say hi, don't take offense if I don't see it right away. I promise you I see you as you come in, but I really want this to be about Xander and just getting to know his journey into content creation and everything that he does on the platform. And with that said, when it comes to your content, what is something that makes you stand out as a creative?
Something that makes me stand out as a creative, I guess you could say it's more so like my approach to how I do things. Like I'm not like, I feel like I'm not like the typical like, VTuber that does the little ooh ara kind of stuff like that. Like I am unapologetically me.
I love that. I love that.
Like it's not like I know there's some people who follow certain formulas and they're like, oh, there's this trend where I gotta be like, oh yeah, like everybody's got this kind of redeem, everybody's got that kind of redeem. I do like my own thing. Instead of like a ooh woo or ara, I got ayos and gangs. Like
I love that. I freaking love that. That's honestly so real. Because like when you think about like VTubing and like how many people do like the aras and the ooh woos and everything else, it's just like, man, I don't want to do, like, I'll do the aras. I will say that because I ain't gonna do it for y'all. I'm not gonna make that a channel redemption. I know y'all kind of want that. I'm not gonna do that for y'all. But everything else is just like, and if that's your niche, that's do your niche thing, but that ain't me. That ain't me. I'm just an appreciator of it. But every now and then you might get me to do a little ara, and that's about it. So, but speaking of trends, don't forget, I saw this lovely tweet by you featuring X dot. That sounds awful. Let me not say that. Let me not say that.
uh,
Oh gosh.
oh man.
But you posing as Kendrick Lamar during the halftime show, say chat. Say chat. You want to elaborate on that? You want to elaborate on
Hey,
that?
hey. It was a meme that I came up with like right on the spot. I was like, you know what? I gotta strike while the iron is hot. I need to like pose myself in the same position, and I gotta do this. So like, I was just like, say chat. I heard you want to stream. Like,
Oh man. It is. Listen, I saw that. I think did you post it on Blue Sky too?
yes, I did. I
Okay,
actually
I
did
thought
post it on Blue
so.
Sky.
Cause I was like, I saw that. I think that yours was like the first one that I saw on Blue Sky, if not Twitter, that morning after everything had blew up after the halftime show, and I was like, yes, I'm living for this. Oh gosh.
Sometimes you just gotta strike while that iron is hot.
That's true. That's true. Because I did the same thing with Bowser. We won't speak about that though. Any case,
Real.
what are some goals and milestones you wish to hit this year?
I don't really have like anything too major. I do want to get more into voice acting, so I've been trying to like push myself to create like a voice acting reel when I have the time. I do want to like get more into music like this year as well. Hopefully, I can actually drop more music. I mean, like actually drop more music like on streaming services. Like, there's been things holding me back from doing so, but
Mm.
life stuff. But hopefully, I can get more into that. And I also want to see, hmm, like I got like certain milestones for this year. Like, want to try and like try and see like if I can actually like break like certain viewer goals. Like
Yeah.
right now, I want to see if like I can reach like maybe like 20. You know, something small, something simple. I feel like that's possible. So yeah.
I agree. Listen, put yourself out there. Do what you need to do to get it done. I believe in you, Xander.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, speaking of music, because I know that's what your content focuses on, how did you first get into music and what inspires you to create music?
Oh, I've pretty much been involved in music like for most of my life. Like, I'm talking about like I remember at one point I actually took vocal lessons when I was like a kid. Like, I had like my parents like my parents put me into that, and I was just like, okay. And they were just like, you know they had me in there. Then like I just kind of like picked up instruments because like I had like siblings that inspired me to do so. So I
Oh.
went to go do that. Um, and then like I kind of figured out like I just kind of like learned how to like rap on my
Mm-hmm.
own. I don't know how that happened, but like I used to battle rap.
Oh, snap. Now, see, this leads me into my next question, but continue on with this. Continue on with this.
Yeah, I used to battle rap, not like professionally or anything like that. No, but like I used to battle rap because like we had people who would be battle rapping and they would roast people through like, and it was like I was like, I know a little bit about poetry. You know what I'm saying? I could
Yeah.
I could probably roast you on the spot. And I was like, okay, let me see what I could do. And yeah, that's how I got started into that. And then of course I just had friends who helped me, find that side of things. And I was just like, oh yeah, I like this. And that's where I've been ever since.
Nice. Speaking of battle rap, I remember when you and Plush Poppy did the battle rap. What was it? Either in 2023 or 2024, one of those years where
Mm-hmm.
y'all were
Mm-hmm.
going back and forth on that. When is the next VTuber beef that either you and them or somebody else starts on socials?
I don't know. That one kind of happened spontaneously. It was more so okay. So during that time, I remember before that kicked it off, the thing that kind of kicked it off. So like I was a part of this thing called Virtual Versus, right? And I was a judge actually.
Mm.
So like it was we were trying to start a VTuber battle rap league, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was actually doing pretty good. Like we actually had like a couple episodes. I believe it was Pace that was running it. It was Pace, and I think they go by the name Scorporino now.
Mm.
But they a couple other judges and stuff that we had there, and you know, Plush thought it would be funny to kick something off. And I was like one of the only people to respond. I was like, okay.
Dang.
I was like, all right. He's like, look, he's like, yeah, I know you're a judge. You gotta respond to me. I'm like, all right, bet. The battle rapper in me was like, all right, bet, I gotta go.
Oh my gosh. That is great. And then from there, y'all just kind of like went back and forth because it was you two and like a couple of other folks, if I remember correctly. I guess from the versus team that were y'all were trying to involve. So
Yeah. It spun into a whole different thing. We had the virtual verses, and then there were people who were just jumping in, throwing their own stuff in there. They're like,
oh my gosh,
yeah, let's go. Like this was like this was the Drake and Kendrick before the Drake and Kendrick.
Right, exactly. That's literally what came to mind when I was seeing that. I was just like, wow, this is like legitimately the Drake and Kendrick, but only like obviously on friendly terms. With other VTubers, and it's just like I would love to see that come back. I don't know who needs to kick it off, but I would love to see that kick back up again. And I know Black History Month is almost over, but it would have been great to see that make a comeback this month, if not later on this year, sometime. Because I know a lot of people got a lot from just seeing you guys go back and forth. That was like their entertainment for the day, even though I know some folks they took a little too seriously. Yeah. They were like, why y'all beefing on the internet? But you also know it's Zitter at the end of the day too. So they're gonna take it that way.
I may have something. I'm not gonna promise, but I may have something that I may be able to share before the end of the month. Hopefully I can get it done before that. But I may have something related. So we'll see. We'll see. There's other Black VTubers in there. And I wanna see if I can get it wrapped up before the month is over. That's what I'm pushing myself for.
That's fair and very valid. So my next question for you is, what's the best compliment you ever received?
The best compliment I've ever received. That's a hard one. Oh man. Best compliment.
I love it. Yes, I finally got to my stumped question.
Okay. If we're talking about in terms of like streaming, I would say that like one of the biggest things that I take as a compliment is that like I'm like people find me entertaining and like that I have a great personality and that like, you know, it keeps them wanting to come back. I don't have like the exact compliment, but it's just that like I take it more as a compliment when people find me extremely entertaining and they love my personality. So
Aww.
yeah.
That's always a joy when you get that sort of confirmation from your viewers, I feel. It's just like it's fulfilling because it's like I'm doing the right thing as a streamer.
Yeah, yeah. Always. It's always. Yeah. I'm looking at this comment. I'm like, how are you even able to like rate a compliment? I don't know.
Cause
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
so like to be fair, cause like somebody can be like, oh well, you did such a great job on stream today, or like you dressed really nice, and I'm like, thank you, thank you, thank you, and then you have somebody who just out the blue says like the sweetest thing to you that makes you go into crying mode, like you just like tears are streaming down your face, like oh my god. And it may be even like someone like you look up to, like let's say Meg the Stallion came into my home and said, you know what, you got the dopest ass model, Blazette. I'd die. I'd die. I'd literally just be like, you know what, that's the one
Nah.
right there. That's the
Nah,
one that
nah.
means so much to me.
Nah, like the biggest compliment that it would ever look, the biggest compliment for me ever is if Kendrick Lamar said, "Oh, he can rap."
Yes. It's like,
If Kendrick Lamar,
dang.
I'm like, yes.
Got the best validation of your life, and you better record it too. You'd be like, can you say that again? I just want to have this down for the record, please.
That would be like equivalent to like the Fetty Wap JBL speaker memes, just me ascending. Just...
Yep. Oh no, don't manifest them here. Please don't. Please listen. I told okay, so this is straying away from Black idols, just putting that out there. And granted, I don't treat this man necessarily as an idol. It's just, well, kind of, but I inspire to have the same energy as this man. But y'all already know I love Tartaglia from Genshin Impact. Shamelessly. I appreciate the voice actor behind him because of how much he embodies the character that he voices. And I kid you not, if that man, Griffin Burns, ever finds a way to my stream, I'm ending the stream immediately. I'm just going to shut it down and be like, well, that's the end of the stream. I can't come back here now. Because he already said that my name was cool, because I gave him the name Blaze at Midnight for like a poster that he signed at MomoCon 2 years ago. But I'm just like, if he finds my stream, I'm gonna have to literally end stream and never come back to the platform. So, oh gosh.
Oh, that's actually cool that you got the autograph with your name on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is. Oh. No, I think the coolest thing that I got in that regard. So I believe it's Jason Griffith, the voice actor for Sonic and some early Shadow.
Oh, nice.
They signed a copy of Shadow the Hedgehog with my name on it, and like I'm like trying to frame it. I want to frame it, like.
Oh yeah, that has to be framed, like immortalized. Keep that in pristine condition as much as
like
possible.
I want to frame it, like I want to like keep it like under like lock in key, like I gotta mount it on my wall or something. Yep. Like my favorite character, one of my favorite voice actors for the character. Yeah.
Oh man, that's dope. Well, moving from positive to slightly negative. What's the worst criticism you've ever received?
The worst criticism. The worst criticism. Okay. So I've had some people say that like, oh, you just seem like I don't know, like I've had somebody tell me that like my personality just isn't it for VTubing.
What? See, I can't ask this question no more. I'm gonna get mad.
Yeah. So like I've had somebody tell me that, and it's just like,
oh.
and I'm just sitting here like, what do you mean by that? I'm like, what do you mean by that? they were like, your personality just isn't it for VTubing. You don't carry the energy that VTubers are supposed to have. I'm like, so there's a certain type of energy that VTubers are supposed to have.
What do you mean? What does that mean? Like, what were they looking for?
I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I remember I even got called a trash e-boy once. And I was just like, huh? What? I was like, it's not that I even try to be an e-boy. It's just like, I kind of just fit the mold for it. And like, I'm not going to be up here trying to sound like Corpse Husband talking about like, yeah, so today. Like, no, like, I'm not trying to do all that. Like,
oh my God. Y'all always leave me speechless with like who be saying these things in y'all's chat, because I just want to talk to them. I just want to speak with them. Just have a little sidebar with them with the bat in hand. That's it. That's all I want to do. That's genuinely all I want to do.
Right. People just be saying words.
Pretty much. And I just, again, I don't know if it's a parasocial relationship thing or it's just like people who just feel protected behind a screen to where it's just like, yeah, you know what? I can get away saying anything. Not thinking like, this could be audited somewhere. Or, I might be talking to somebody like, what's his name? His name leaves me. Jim Browning. To where they could be a gray hat hacker. And just, be that bothered to where it's just like, you know what? I think I will find a way to find out where they live and do crimes. Not saying that you should do this. I'm not saying that. But I'm just like, you don't know who you're speaking to at the end of the day when you come across somebody and just berate them with a slew of insults. And I'm just like, okay. Not you just got the chills moment from hearing Jim Brown. Listen, if you don't know who Jim Browning is, I encourage you to look that up on YouTube. I'm scared. I'm scared to interact with that man.
You will cause problems in purpose in Minecraft. Yeah. No, I think in GTA.
Definitely parasocial. They want folks to align with their ideal of personality. And that's the thing that bewilders me. Like, everyone thinks that, I guess, or not everyone, excuse me. Some people in this space think that VTubing, like every VTuber is either an idol, they have to create cringe and meme content like, ooh, let's go do something today, and I'm silly and I'm dumb and I'm stupid. That kind of energy, or something else around that sort of like ideology that you see from like typically corporate VTubers. And it's like no shade or anything like that to them, because they doing what they do, entertaining the masses, good for them. And a lot of them are very funny when they do that. But it's just like, I already know that niche is not for me. That niche is not for me at all. And it's just like, I even know some VTubers who role play as their character. And technically, like, pretty much my design and my demeanor is me at the end of the day. But I do a little bit of role play with my character, because anybody who mentions Bowser in this chat, just understand, I'm disappointed in your choices. I'm very disappointed in your choices. But just know, Without the Blazette model, I love Bowser to death. He's one of my favorite characters, but I hate him as Blazette. Just understand that.
Like me, for example, like I'm me, but exaggerated for content,
Mm,
you know? So it's me, but like exaggerated aspects. Like there's times where like I'll exaggerate my voice some, be extra energetic, but in reality, when I'm like off a stream, like
yeah.
I'm chilling, like voice is chill, and like some people forget that, or some people don't realize that. So I have my days where I'll get on stream and like, I'm not as energetic, and they'll pull up and they'll be like, "Yo, what are you faking your voice right now?" I'm like,
Now are you faking your
"Nah."
voice?
I'm like, "Nah." They're like, "Why does it sound extra deep today?" I'm just like, "This is just how I sound." Like just the other day, somebody was just like, "You gotta be there's no way, there's no." I was just like, "Look, I just don't have the energy today. It's just my voice. Anybody in the chat that's been here before can vouch. Everybody in the VC can talk and vouch for me right now." And they're like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Oh," like, because it was flustering them whenever I would call their name out in the chat, and they were like, there's no way."
Oh man. People just be people. They really do.
Yeah, they really do.
Do you value analytics, money, or community, or try to find a balance between all three when it comes to creating content?
Honestly, the thing I value the most is community. Um, I can worry about balancing all three later, like monetary aspects of this, like not really something like it's nice. Don't get me wrong. Like it's nice when I'm able to like use it to like help me pay off certain things, for
Mm-hmm.
life. You know what I'm saying? But like I value community more than everything else. If community can translate into the analytics, that'd be great. But it's always community first.
I agree. Because I feel like, again, going back to Tiffany's answers from yesterday, she said it best from like all the folks that I've interviewed asking this question. Community helps you find the other two.
Exactly.
It really
Without It's
does.
like without community, you don't get the other two.
Yeah, because it's going to be
Yeah.
very hard. Because people can be there for the moment and spike your analytics, but there's no guarantee that they'll come back tomorrow or the day afterwards or a week later or a month later. And same thing with just having that money. And I'm not saying that, don't go out and be like, you know what? I think I will play Pokemon today and rack up some viewers. Just start throwing
Yeah.
Pokeballs at people. Don't go out here doing that, please. People aren't Pokemon. Don't do that. Let people naturally find you and be like, you know what? I vibe with this person. I connect with this person. And they will eventually stay, or, they'll stay for the moment and leave. And it's okay because, like, a lot of my favorite content creators that I may not watch anymore, such as Markiplier and Jacksepticeye, I've been following them for years, but I hardly ever watch their content anymore. But I'm still in the background rooting for their success and all the things that they do because it's a piece of me where it's just like they really did inspire me to even get into streaming or like, want to pursue like streaming and gaming for content. So, and it happens. I mean, there's people who probably have been to my stream and it's just like, oh man, Blaze, I ain't seen you in a minute. Or like, they went off and did other things in their life. But every now and then I'll see them in my stream and I'll be like, it's so good to see you, friend. So,
It is nice when somebody who hasn't been there in like a year just
mm-hmm.
just magically shows back up and they're like, "Yo, you looks different. Like it's been so long." Like
Right.
just like, "Yo, I remember when you had this model right here."
Mm-hmm.
It's good when they're like when it's like, "Oh, you remembered me."
Yeah, no, right? It's like, oh, thank God I'm not like, a blip in the wind or dust in the wind or a fart in the wind. Thank you for not
Yeah.
treating me this way.
Yeah. It's always nice when that
Yes.
happens.
Um, what is one thing that you could do better as a VTuber or content creator?
Honestly, I, I mean, the goal would just be try everything, do everything better.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like there, there's always room for like some type of improvement, right? So like maybe like a year from now, if I'm still in the game, hopefully I am. But a year from now, hopefully I'm doing like streams or making content better than what I'm doing right now. So I would say everything could be better if you know as long as you just continue to put the effort into it.
Yep,
Something I plan to do. So yeah.
I agree. That's that's a good mindset to have. And speaking of future goals and growth, do you see yourself as a content creator 10 years down the road? And if so, why? But if not, why?
Honestly, I'm very unsure about 10 years down the line.
it,
That's a long time.
it is, but it goes by very quickly, and I
Yeah,
say
it
that
does
as
go by very
someone
quickly.
who's approaching 10 years. Not
Yeah.
this year, but in a few years.
Yeah. I mean, like it does go by quickly. I mean, like this is the fifth year for me. So like,
Mhm.
come October, that's year five. So like year 10, I mean, maybe it's a strong maybe. Cause like I feel like it could go either way, depending on how depending on like just how I feel about it overall,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah. Like hopefully I can like maybe transition it into like maybe some other things. More like not just streaming. I don't know if I'm going to be streaming, but maybe I'll be like voice acting. Maybe I will be working on a soundtrack or something. Maybe. Yeah.
That's
Who knows?
fair. Cause I honestly don't know myself. I would I feel like if I had to answer this question, I could kind of see myself doing this. Um whether or not it's VTubing, I don't know. I would like
Mm.
it to still be somewhat tied to my VTubing brand, but I don't know if it'll be something necessarily just tied to just streaming. I kind of want to I feel like after you've done something for a good while, you kind of want to move into the next step or the next area um
Yeah.
of that, either that sphere or like something that's like somehow connected to it or just like deviate from it all entirely, just depending on where your head is at and what sort of next steps look like for you. And I don't know what that looks like for me in the next 10 years, because that'll be, oh god, that'll be 2035. Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh. Oh, I already know how old I'll
2035.
be. Oh no, I shouldn't have
Yeah,
put that in my mind.
yeah. I already know how old I'll
Oh.
be. Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh, I'm gonna be ancient.
Yep, I am too. Ooh.
they're gonna be like, Xander Digital, ain't you on analog? Like they're gonna be like, you sure we don't gotta put in a cassette tape to watch your stream? Like
Right. It's like weren't you here during the 8-track era? Like, was that you?
they gonna be like, listen here, like I get it. You came from DVDs. We
Oh man. Oh, that'd be so bad. Listen, if technology gets any smarter than it is now, to where like things are like holographic, like monitors and stuff like that, they'll be like, "Oh, don't I have to like plug in like a PC or something like that to like view your streams, or like have some sort of like hard device just to like watch you? Like what's happening here?"
Oh my lord.
Oh, not the daily booty hole check. Like, ooh. Wow, where has this conversation
I have
gone?
no idea.
It's the daily for me as well. I'm like, ooh, I don't know
Yeah,
about
if you
that.
needed, I mean, if you needed daily, there might be another issue going on.
Right. Oh, goodness. All right.
Oh,
Speaking of wild things, um do you, well, I already know the answer to this one. Do you or have you ever considered doing 18 plus content, and why?
yeah,
If you care to
I
speak on
do.
it.
Yeah, okay. So I
You can't
do,
promote it. I
and
will say that.
I'm
You
not
can't promote
promoting
it.
it.
Okay.
I'm not
Yeah.
promoting. I understand that. I understand. I do. I don't know. It was one of those things. It's just like, okay. I mean, like, I know, like, it's not something I take super seriously or anything like that. But like, I know that it is something that is out there, and there's people who are interested in that. So I'm just like, okay, why don't I just feed that side? You know, they want this, and I don't mind it. There's obviously a limit,
Yeah.
but you know what? Why not just like spoon feed them a little bit here every once in a while?
Yeah, exactly. It's just like just a little spoon feed. That's it. That's all you gotta do. Right now, I'm just, mine is very barren. I'm sorry. Listen, stuff like that is very expensive to try and find, but just in
Yeah.
any case. Moving on. Um, Do you see content creation as a viable source of income that could support your lifestyle if you were to pursue it as a full-time career, and why or why not?
Currently, no. Currently, no. But it has helped me out in the past. So, it has its ups and its downs. Obviously it's a wave, but maybe in like a year, maybe a year or two later, it might change. It might be more, maybe it might be less. Who knows? But um, I think it can in the long term.
Mm-hmm.
It just more so depends on like that earlier conversation that we had, like the community first,
Yep.
everything else second. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
And I understand that too, because like I feel like most of the folks who have been able to make a full-time career out of this, it's because their community is able to come together and put together those funds for them. And I say again, please don't look at people as cash cows. I can't stress that enough. We are literally just talking about things from our perspectives. We're not saying like, oh
Hmm.
man, these are the things that you're supposed to do. And I 100% vouch for like, people who use viewers as cash cow. No, that is not the case. That is not the
Yeah, I
case.
genuinely hate seeing that, because like, I mean, like,
Same.
one of the
It's
things for me is like, I feel like if I feel like even now when people go to my streams and they like throw subs and bits, I be like, put your wallet away.
yes.
I'll be like, put your wallet away.
I'm gonna have to
I'm
start
like,
using that.
can you eat? I'm like,
Yes.
yeah, like I'm like, put your wallet away. Like,
Listen.
like I want to feel like I earned it personally.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah,
And
but
I agree with that, because one thing that I really just don't want to do to folks, because I've seen this, especially coming from the cosplay community. The saddest thing that I saw, and I know they wanted to have a good time and wanted to spend time with their friends and everything else. There was one person who I encountered while going to a convention, because like I've been going to a convention since like, ooh, child, ooh, this is dating myself. Ooh, 2006, 7 ish, I want to say. Yeah, no, 2006, 2005. Because I've gone to Anime Weekend in Atlanta so many times. I'm tired of going to that con. But as an adult, I will say when I went to one of those cons, I think it might have been AWA, if not Momo. I can't remember which one. But there was one person who came out of town, took like I think like a bus and a bike and everything else to get to that con. Had no money to really do anything else except attend the con. Like they couldn't even buy themselves like a meal to eat or anything else. And you know, they were behind on bills and other things, and I'm just like, I know you wanted to have fun, baby, but one, you've come a long way and I don't even know how you're gonna get back, and two, I need you to eat. Like, if you can't feed yourself, that's a problem. I need you to eat. Like, you have to value and love yourself enough to put yourself first before you spend money on others. Like, if you got the spare funds to help out somebody else, by all means, you could do that. But do not throw away your life savings at the expense of your own health for a brief moment of fun, or like, you know what? I hope I can, again, going back to that whole parasocial thing, because some people will donate to be like, can you date me? And I've had that. Oh, man. I've had that happen in both the IRL cam space as well as the VTubing space, and I'm just like, those are my icks. Don't do this to me, because I will show you the door. I don't care how much money you spent on me. You can still kindly see the door. Payment does not abide you to disregard my boundaries, my rules, my space. I don't care if you pay off the entirety of my mortgage. Get out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And like I don't blame you on that aspect. Like that's something that I noticed that like, because like I know that like women in the space or female presenting individuals in the space deal with that way more, but it does happen to us as well. And it's pretty jarring. Like when stuff like that happens to me, where people are super parasocial and then they're like, you know, trying to like tip like, you know, subs or bits or whatever to try and get close to me. It was like, I haven't had it happen a lot, but in the instance that it did, it was really weird. And I understood what y'all went through, what y'all be going through. And it made me realize, I was like, man, this is crazy.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, it's wild, because I've seen it happen so many times to femme presenting individuals in the IRL cam stream. A lot. But in the VTubing space, I feel like it's like 50-50 in terms of like, regardless of what your gender is. Like, if you have an appealing model or appealing voice or something there that has a viewer just like latched into you in the hopes of just like, oh God, maybe they'll date me, or maybe they'll you know, bark for me and do other things for me, because, you know, I need that, you know, digital pet in my life. And I'm just like, ooh, wait, hold up now. I ain't a Tamagotchi. Yeah. I'm not your personal Tamagotchi. No, thank you.
Yeah, no.
So
not at all.
It's a little strange, but getting back to the question about making a full-time career, I again, people have grinded to the point where they were able to have their community support them, and I love that for them. I wish a lot of small and big streamers could say that, because, you know, it really does take them in order to find financial stability to where it's just like, you can live on your own, live with somebody else, pay for your meals, pay the bills for like heat, water, all this stuff, pay for gas in case like you have to travel out of town for, you know, work as a full-time career, because like full-time streamer, excuse me, because like I know some people who have to commute to, like, let's say, go to Elgato headquarters, or go to, what's that thing that I think that Thousand Dreams Fund folks do, where it's like it's someplace in LA where I think for the most part they cover at. But like, let's say you want to do some sightseeing and, like, grab a burrito or a hot dog or something there, you're able to do so instead of, like, breaking the bank just to try and get there, or even like make a guest appearance at like DreamCon. Because, like, if I remember correctly,
Yeah.
some of the guests who were at DreamCon, and again, I'm not trying to shade DreamCon, but some cons, they could do a little more for their guests. But they have to kind of pay to cover, like, hotel fees and, maybe the space for like a table for them. And they may not have that unless, again, their community supplies that for them. So it's definitely viable at once you get to that point, but again, not every small streamer can say that they can make it up to that point. And not to put down others, but as Black streamers, like, this was something that we talked about yesterday. Is just like, who's another Black streamer who has truly made it other than, like, basically Kai Cenat?
Yeah, that is like a good question. Like, I mean, like, you got like you can like list like the amount of Black streamers who are on top, right? But it's like very few. So like we got like Kai Cenat and maybe like IShowSpeed, but like in the VTubing space, how many can we say?
Yeah.
Right? Like, I think the biggest Black streamer in the VTubing space that I can think of is Kenji.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's like, again, I ain't trying to get into Kenji's business because looking in the IRL cam space, I look at people like Sensei CJ, Kiwi on the Sticks, multitude of folks who are even in the Black Guild who are like partners now, and they've got tons of sponsorships, brands, and stuff like that. But I've also heard their stories where it's just like, yeah, they make some money, but they're still having to hustle and grind every day to live somewhat comfortably, and it's not 100% comfortably, because, like, who's to say, what happens if you get into an accident and your hospital bill is like, 50 grand. Are you gonna be able to cover that with stream biddies, stream subs, and all that stuff? Because that's a pretty hefty charge that you're gonna have to actually have people come together and support. So
yeah, it's rough.
Yeah, it really is rough, and like, not everybody's got it like that. Some people do have good jobs and will come to like smaller streamers or bigger streamers to help support, but again, not to try to say like, go out there looking for cash cows, but you have to kind of weigh those sort of like risks before you say, yes, I think I will pursue this as a full-time career. Because tomorrow's never promised. It really is not. And losing my job was one of the realest moments that happened to me, that put in perspective for me that I could not pursue this as a full-time career. Not right now. Maybe when I retire, because at least I'll have stuff from the government coming in. But but right now it's just
yeah, like, as of right now, it is rough. And like you said, losing a job, because being in that situation currently, man, I can't say this would help full time. There was one time where like I did manage to like get something where like I had enough to like cover like bills, and I was like, man, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing during this time, but oh man. But as of right now,
no, that is honestly real right there. Because even unemployed, like, I feel like I probably made a little bit more from Twitch unemployed, but that was because I was able to stream during the day, um, and during weekdays. So I wasn't just strictly a weekend streamer. I could stream Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday and Sunday if I wanted
Mm-hmm.
to incorporate that, and still have like breaks in between, so that way I wouldn't have to lose my mind. Um, but it was still just one of those things where it's just like it won't cover like nearly anything that I spend on a monthly basis just to pay my mortgage, which I can guarantee you every Twitch paycheck that has come through, it barely even covers half my mortgage with the county that I live in. Is
Man, man.
it's rough out here.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
rough. It is rough.
oh gosh. Um,
Oh.
so has there ever been a moment where you felt stagnant with your content?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would definitely say as of recent, as of recent, yeah. I've been trying to figure out the next best thing for me, right? Um, which is why I've tried to set goals for myself, which is why I'm trying to figure out game plans and what I can do to kind of maybe, I don't know, make things feel a little bit fresh, if
Mm-hmm.
that makes sense. Um, trying out different things, maybe seeing about viewer suggestions, maybe seeing about what collabs to plan out, what kind of events I want to do, certain things like that. I've been trying to get more into um, to provide a little more variety to things, especially since I'm a variety streamer. Um, that is mainly the thing that I've been trying to do because, like, I don't know, like, I would say probably for like maybe like a few months, I felt like things have been kind of stagnant. And I will say this, I guess whatever I'm doing might be working because this month is probably the most that I've averaged ever.
Oh, good. I love that.
So, I mean, I'll take that as a small little W.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing, or just when I say keep doing what I'm doing, I'm talking about just trying out different events, trying out different types of collabs, trying out like just getting out of my little bubble.
Right. I like that.
So yeah.
And that's pretty much the approach that you have to take most of the time. It's just like whenever you feel those like, I'm not really going anywhere with my content periods. It's just like, okay, so where can I pivot? Like how do I adjust to like bringing in more people to my streams or seeing me or like, getting that reach that I need to get to other folks, because I'm also getting into that period in my life as well. And you know I I like my model. Don't get me wrong. I love my model mama and I
Mm.
love how I look. But I also realize in the VTubing game, sometimes you gotta switch it up on folks with like model designs and like debuts and stuff like that. Cause I ain't got enough to like just be like, you know what? I think I will debut in another 6 months to a year. That only happened once, and that was like when I did like my initial debut because I had Onsta's model, which I've been sitting on for a year before I rigged it. And then this one where I commissioned Lovmura to do it while I was in the process of rigging my first model. So it seemed like I had like, oh, well, Blaze just debuted in October and then did another debut in January. And it's just like the reality of like, no, I had this model in my back pocket for the longest time. I just didn't know who to rig it. I
Yeah,
didn't know
that's fair.
who to rig it. And so now I'm sitting on like pretty much a 2-year model, and I'm still like, yeah, it's time for an upgrade. It's just like when that will happen, I don't know. But like at the same time, I also understand, yeah, I need money in order to do so. So
See, this is the lovely
So,
thing because I debuted this outfit that I
mhm.
got on right now this month.
Oh well, dang.
Yeah. Um the new design as a whole, I was like, all right, new year, new look. Because before I was rocking with like, you know, the skinnier V-Roid model, because V-Roid, I don't know why V-Roid. This is the one thing that I don't understand. Like, I think it's like they don't really do body proportions like well. Everybody's either like you're either a stick or like like if you're a guy, you're a stick, right?
Mhm.
And you just got like painted on muscle. But like you just a stick. And then like yeah, it's the anime
Yep,
body
anime
proportions.
body
But then like,
proportions.
like for the women, even then, like I mean, the women, of course, they're gonna give more body to, but even then, it's like lacking. So like, which is why I was like, nah, we are going in the blender. We're
Mhm.
going into Unity. We're gonna spice this up. We're gonna add some season.
Some season.
We go like right now we got unseasoned chicken going on. I need some
Mhm.
flavors, enhancements. Like I was
Oh,
like, I can't be out here looking like I'm starving.
right, exactly. And it's like that's kind of, again, I love my model, don't get me wrong, but I also wish I had a little more curvature to certain areas, like my waist. I want a little bit thicker. I want it to look like I actually have a butt because I do have a butt in real life. So it's just like
That's fair.
the next model that I would like to have would be a little closer. I ain't gonna say perfectly close to like my current body type, but I want it close to where I would like to get to with my IRL body type and what I used to be before depression happened.
Man, yeah. Hey, look, I'm right there with you.
mm, it's it,
Yeah, I am right there with you.
it is rough. So, but we're working on it. We're working on it at a slow pace but steady pace, to try and get to a better me in my eyes. Not that I don't love myself. It's just I just would like to have, you know, a better lifestyle and habits for myself, health wise, and
Yeah.
it'll also improve my mental wise. So
Yes, 100%. I am right there with you as well. That's something I've been trying to work on personally. Like, whew, can't stress enough.
yeah. um do you feel like subathons and donathons are crucial and beneficial when it comes to funding stream components, content you would like to produce, and financial stability?
um, I do, but thing about it is I don't do a lot of them. I could count on one hand how many I've done in my entire time of streaming. I think I have done a total. Now that I think about it, I've only done a total of three. Yeah, yeah, I've only done like a total of three of them. I've thought about doing another one, but I don't know. It's like I feel like mm, it's like that feeling like it's like oh man, I feel like I'm out here just like asking, just be like,
Yeah.
hey guys, like could you like it makes me feel so weird.
Yeah. And
Oh my
like
lord.
I can empathize with that because like again when I had my unemployment period, it's just I don't really like asking for help, and that was the other thing that we touched about yesterday. It's just like it feels very icky to be like, hey, I kind of need some money to make it by this month. Can you help me out? Um, and
Hmm.
yes, to that point as well, Jupy, where it's just like burnout from subathons are very real because I know the very first, okay, so put it this way. I've done subathon slash donathons before. Really just the what did I do in 2023? Was that subathon or donathon? I think that might have been subathon. No, was it the donathon? I don't remember. Any case, I think it might have been donathon. Who knows? Um, but I did one prior to my VTubing days as an IRL cam streamer, leading into my VTuber days, where it was one of those where it's just like a year-long one versus like one that's like a subset amount, and you have like a clock and stuff going. Because I don't even think, yeah, I didn't have a clock going. It's literally just like my sweet versus spicy one, where it's just more so for this period of time throughout the year. You can contribute biddies or Ko-Fi donations towards me to help raise me funds for APC, which I knew I wasn't going to get the funds for what I would like to build within just like a month. Because again, you know, Twitch paychecks that like $100, $200, $300 ain't gonna cover. I mean, you could potentially build a PC with just that much money. It's just the one that I want to build and that I'm streaming off of right now cost a little bit more than just that amount of money. And so luckily my community did come together, and again, this was during my period before I debuted this model, before people knew who Blaze at Midnight was in the VTubing sphere. My community luckily came together and was able to fund that PC that I'm streaming off of right now, which I dedicated to and call Black and Gay, because it's literally a black case with a whole bunch of RGBs inside of it, which I know some people are like, man, that's ugly. I'm just like, listen here, it's my PC and it works just well and it does all the things that I needed to do. It's black and gay. Leave me alone.
Hey, look, ain't nothing wrong with that, because I got a black case that has a lot of RGB components on the inside of it right now. Look, it got RGB fans. We got a RGB cooler. We got a RGB SSD, like 2 of them. Like, there's a lot of RGB in this thing.
Yep. And it's like the main thing about it was just like, even like to this day, because like I also am doing a subathon and donathon thingy thing. I don't stress it. I know the clock be there, and I honestly ignore it half the time just because I genuinely forget. But also it's just like I really hate asking others for money. I really do. If you want to contribute, it's like by all means do so, but it's just like at the same time, again, you need to eat. Don't you fund me if you can't eat. Please, for the love of God, don't do that. Like, make sure you can eat at home before you fund anybody else.
Yeah, that is the biggest thing. Like, as long as like because I just feel bad, because it's just like, I don't know, like like I said before, it's like the concept of feeling like I earned it, right? Like I wanna like people who just like come in and like, you know, gift like bits or subs. Yes, I appreciate them, but like I always say, hey, put your wallet away, because and if they can take care of themselves, they're like, oh no, it's good, I took care of all my bills, all that good stuff, like I got my groceries. Like, if you got it like that, cool. Yeah. But like, if you're out here just like throwing the money away, like look, I appreciate it, but like, please take care of yourself. Please. That is something I always like. That's something I just can't stress enough of.
I agree. Yeah. I wholeheartedly agree. See. Oh, before we get into more questions, let me go ahead and do my introduction, and then also I have a question for you before we go any further into the interview process. But those just joining the stream, welcome to everyone to Uppies for Beauties and Baddies, the BIPOC POC experience, where I, your host, Blaze at Midnight, the baddest Dragon Queen VTuber on Twitch, invite some incredibly talented creatives to spend a little time with me while getting grilled in the Dragon's Den. Today we have Xander Digital discussing themselves, their journey into content creation, and anything else they wish to speak their truth on. Mods drop the socials, viewers peek the chat, and be sure to follow these beauties and baddies to know where it's at. Time to celebrate and elevate. Let's get it poppin'. And again, those of y'all who do have questions for Xander, please do not be shy. You can drop your questions in chat. The mods and myself will gather them as possible. Oh, speaking of which, we have one. So Raptor Jack asks, you don't know if this was answered, but what inspired your design overall, Mr. Digital?
My IRL self. That was something that inspired my design. Um, so my IRL self is something like in a way, like it's kind of like obviously I've exaggerated like my like design by a lot. So like I'm not gonna say like too much, but like yes, like the hair, that's something I have IRL. The hair is something that I have IRL. Um, like currently body type, I'm reworking that, but I did have this body type. It's just I've slacked a little bit because health is, when you don't watch your health, life will
Yep.
like sometimes it is sometimes like health like hits you up side the head randomly, like so like that is something that I am trying to get back towards, and I've been working slowly towards getting back to this body type that you see. But yeah yeah it's just this is pretty much like what inspired the design. It's my IRL self.
And that's understandable because that's something that I can 100% relate to. Uh, because a lot of the components on my model is very close to like how I represent myself. Again, not exactly this body type. I'm just putting that
Mhm.
out there. But the hair, especially because I wear my hair in twists. Right now, it's, in 2-strand twists right now. And usually when I twist it out, it looks pretty much the same, where it's just like it's got that curly texture, it's got that bounce and fluff to it, and it's just like I'm a happy being. But
Like I've had the so like these people they'll be like, ooh, dreads. I mean, these really are just twist. Like I had 2-strand twist, so like these really are just twist. It's just this was what I had in VRoid. Sure, I could change it up in Blender, but I like the charm of these.
right.
I don't know. There's a certain charm that these have that like I've tried like other hairstyles on this model, and it just like, man, it just doesn't hit the same.
Yeah. And I get it. I get it cuz I like what Lovmura did with like my hair. Like the texture is like perfect in terms of just like, yes, this is the representation that I wanted for my hair type. Like I wanted the curly cues cuz this is exactly how my hair be for the most part. Um Speaking of continuing on, we are at the 2-hour mark. Do you need a break, potty break, hydration break, snack break, any of that?
Uh, no. I mean, I managed to. I prepared, so I have actually a lot of things to hydrate with, and I still have a little bit of food here. Yeah, so I'm all good. I'm
Okay.
I'm chilling.
Okay. I want to make sure, typically around like the 1 hour to 2 hour mark, because I know we still got plenty of ways to go, and I don't want to make it uncomfortable for you to get into a bind, or myself to get into a bind. But I'm also good with continuing on as well. Rimu asks, "What's your favorite learning experience that came out of being a content creator?" Which is a really good question.
My favorite learning experience. Ooh, this is a good one. Favorite learning experience. So, hmm, I would say so when I say like my favorite learning experience, so it's basically I kind of like applied like social knowledge, right? Or picked up more social knowledge from streaming. Like I was already like pretty like extroverted or outwardly going. I'm an ambivert, but like um I learned how to balance my social my what's the right word? I can't think of the right word. Um just like I learned how to find a balance in certain social settings. Um Learning how to like keep things going when things are dry, especially in the beginning because I did not know how to do that. Trying to keep things going to prevent things from like streams or certain content from having like dead air, dead space,
Mm-hmm.
like just that quiet like awkward setting, especially in collabs.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah. So having to learn how to bounce off of like people's personalities, that is one of the biggest things that I had a good time learning in the when it comes to streaming.
Nice.
Yeah.
Um, if you could stream or create content anywhere in the world, where would it be and why?
Anywhere in the world. Could you elaborate a little bit on that?
Meaning, if you had no financial constraints and let's say you wanted to take VTubing to where, um, if it was possible, you could show your VTuber like walking in the streets of, let's say, Tokyo or France or Europe, or get the opportunity to like collaborate with like Sony or Nintendo and kind of like track, your experiences of being there or getting that brand deal with someone else. You know, where's a good place that you would like to sort of like create your content or thrive in if like money wasn't an object or a factor or anything else that may be hindering you from like traveling across the seas or to another state or environment completely.
Okay. So if money was no object, me, I'm a person who is into like invested heavily in like fashion and fashion districts. So
Mm-hmm.
like I would be like if I had like if money was no objects and I could stream like having my model in like these places where we're walking alongside like maybe like Harajuku, um or like say if we are like in Milan or something, like
Mm-hmm.
you know things places that have like a lot of like that are like very influential in like fashion culture, because
Ooh.
yeah, yeah, or even like places in like maybe like New York or something, LA, like there are certain areas like maybe like Rodeo or something. I feel like those would be like good places because I have like like a lot of knowledge about like fashion brands. This was something that like people pointed out because I remember I did a stream where you know how they have those videos where there's like, oh yeah, we got the 4K like walking through Japan, walking through this
Yes.
district.
Yes.
Like I remember like I would be like I had that up there, and like I managed to get like just like a 4-hour stream just talking about the fashion district.
I
Oh my
love
goodness.
that.
Oh my lord. So yeah, I could go on for hours.
That honestly is like it sounds like it should be like a reoccurring thing possibly for your stream. Cause like I feel like,
Mhm.
and again, it just depends on like how comfortable you are with doing that yourself and making it as a component of your stream. Cause like not everybody wants to like market their hobby or anything that's like of great interest. That's the same with me, where it's just like I'm still kind of like on the fence with like bringing code to stream, but like at the same time I want to because I know a lot of people have inquired about like certain things and like how to go about like learning different programming languages, and like just also getting people sort of like a little bit more comfortable with like, you know, things like Mix It Up Bot or like Notion and stuff like that. So it's something that I've put on the side as like a nice little uh, burner project, as you may say, to like maybe introduce that at some point. But that honestly sounds like it would be a good thing to like maybe try and incorporate into your streams if you haven't done so um frequently.
Yeah, I've thought about actually bringing stuff like that back. Where uh, I remember the last time I did anything fashion related. I think we were making fun of Balenciaga.
Oh no.
um, yeah, we were making fun of this brand called
Yeah.
Balenciaga because of how goofy it looks and how much it costs. Like, I remember they literally had a purse that was literally, it's literally a glad bag.
A who?
Like,
You gotta
it
be
was literally
joking.
like, no. It was literally a garbage bag. It was made from the material of garbage bag, but the strap said, the drawstring said Balenciaga on it, and it was going for like $3,000.
Nah, fam. You can miss me with that. You can
And I'm
Oh, are you talking about like this purse that I see? I'm sorry, I'm being nosy and looking it up.
like, I've seen like purses or like shoes. Oh no. Like, they'll have shoes that look like it'll be like a Kingdom Hearts shoe. Like Sora, Mickey.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like if I put that on, I gotta fight the Heartless.
Were they the no? Who was the one who made the Gundam shoes?
I have no idea. I feel like I know what you're talking about, but I've definitely seen them, but I can't think of the brand right now. That's the funniest thing. Oh my
Oh,
lord.
cause like I see those shoes and I'm just like, I would like to wear them, but like at the same time, it would defeat the purpose because I want to preserve them because they look so cool. But also, I ain't spending like $300 on. I'm sorry, I can't justify the price of you know pretty much we'll say 150 and up on shoes. That's just a lot of money for me. It's just a lot.
Like, I have methods of like getting certain clothes, like, of course, when my funds are looking right. So like,
Hmm.
I have like methods of doing so that isn't going to break the bank for me right then and there. um Obviously, like, stuff that's like, oh man, like when you can split the payments up, that I love those. But like, I'm looking at Balenciaga right now. But like, I'm going to have to do a stream on this. But like the next brand that I think I'm going to like review is like Golden Goose. But like, there's like so many different brands that I look at that are just like, why is it this expensive when it looks like this?
Yeah, and
Like, oh,
because
okay.
go ahead.
There was one, okay, last thing I'm gonna say. There was one shoe, and I'm looking at it now. Um, so like, it was one shoe that looked like SpongeBob shoes, right? Going for like a down payment on a car. And I thought it was the goofiest thing ever. Like, I was just like these are really the fry cook boots. Like, actually, I have a picture right now. I found it. Like, hold on. We're just gonna get this little. We got the fry cook boots, and it is hilarious to me that like people are like, oh man, these go so hard. Uh, hold up. I just gotta screenshot this.
Same, Emmy, same.
This is what I'm talking about.
Oh gosh. What is this?
They look just like the Fry Cook boots.
Oh my god! That is horrendous. And mind you, I love boots. I love boots. This is an abomination. This is not a boot that I would ever claim in my entire life. Oh.
And the thing that makes it even worse is they have that's they're probably their best looking one.
Why?
That's probably their best looking shoe.
Why? It's awful. Oh my god. That's No, do you have a link to the boot? Because
yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes, I do. Hold on. I just gotta scroll up just a little bit. But like looking at this, hold on. I'll put this here for you. Boom.
Thank you.
I got you. But man. Yeah, like I just find it hilarious how like certain fashion brands, they look so goofy, and yet people will like pay an arm and a leg for them.
It's you know what? The Bomberman shoes. Or the Astro Boy shoes, that's what it is. The red boots, I forget you know what I'm talking about. I know you've seen them.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yes. Cause
yeah,
the Mischief big red boot. And I'm just like, those aren't practical at all.
No, they're not.
Like, why? Like, why do they cost like close to $3? This is what I mean. Like, I can't justify paying this.
Take that. I've seen somebody take it and like they made like the Sonic shoes out of them.
No. Did they at least look better? Like the soap shoes?
They looked better. Yeah, okay. They looked better. So like they took it, they like chopped the top off and then they like customized it and made it into the soap shoes. And I was like, you know what? This actually looks better. That I would pay $300 for. But I wouldn't pay $300 for like to walk around looking like I got like Astro Boy feet.
Yes. This is like, that's just ridiculous. And like, I'm sorry. I watched a clip of Drewski putting on those shoes recently. He was having a time getting them things off. And I'm like, I don't want to ever go through this type of pain with pulling off shoes like this. Like, if I have to go through that kind of pain, let it be combat boots. I usually would fight with those. And those I'm fine with fighting. But with those, the Astro Boy shoe, no, I'll look so goofy in public and private doing that. No.
Now if they drop the Shadow the Hedgehog shoes, yeah, I'm going in.
Oh yeah. If I have the funds, yes, but I most likely ain't gonna have the funds. At least, still, I'm gonna have to like really have a talk with myself and be like, is this worth it? And I'm always gonna go to the answer of, no, it's not worth it, Blaze. Don't do it to yourself. Don't do this. Oh.
Sorry, this is the last thing I'm gonna do. This is the last. Like I gotta. Okay, so because I have to show you, like, because I'm looking at this right now, and you just gotta see how goofy this looks. Like this right here, Balenciaga. It looks like It looks like if you put this on, you're gonna be a part of Organization 13. I'm going to send the link. I promise.
I don't even have words for this. You know what this looks like? If I wore these shoes, it would look like, because like I'm looking at the model that's posing in these. It looks like that, you know, stereotypical like anime gangster guy who like has his hands in his pockets and does the bow-legged stance of just like, what are you saying, punk? And like they bend over like they got a bad back. Like it looks like that. Like he looks like he about to do that bow-legged stance that
Oh
you
my
see in
lord.
anime. Oh my god. Lord have mercy. Also, Bolts, I see the raid. Welcome in, Raiders. Hi, hi, hi. Welcome in, everybody, to a little stream series that I like to call Uppies for Beauties and Baddies, the BIPOC POC experience, where I, your host, Blaze at Midnight, the baddest dragon queen VTuber here on Twitch, invite some incredibly talented creatives to spend a little time with me while getting grilled in the Dragon's Den. Today we have Xander Digital discussing themselves, their journey into content creation, and anything else that they wish to speak their truth on. Mods drop the socials, viewers peep the chat, and be sure to follow these beauties and baddies to know where it's at. Time to celebrate and elevate. Let's get it poppin'. And like I said, everybody that's coming in, I promise you, I'm not ignoring you. I'm just more so giving Xander the platform to speak. This is a stream that is really focused on him as a content creator and what his content, any kind of like advice or like takeaways that you can get from like him just talking about his journey and anything else that intrigues him, just to like put you guys onto this content and also introduce you guys to anybody else from marginalized communities that you may not know very well. Check out their content. This is why we're doing this series, is so you guys can get put onto other creatives in this VTubing sphere, as well as in the content creation sphere, because again, the show isn't just about VTubers. We also bring on cam streamers. You can literally peep my VODs to see this. But in any case, welcome in, everybody. Glad to have you. And Bolts, I hope you had a wonderful stream. And those of y'all who are here for the long run to see our interview process, if you have any questions for Xander, feel free to drop them in chat and we will touch base on them as quickly as possible. Which, speaking of which, I saw there was one, I believe, from Lycoon not too long ago. Did you face any self-doubt or challenges to get into when you got started into content creation, and were you like, shit, I don't know what this is about?
Oh
Or you
yeah.
don't know about this? Yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Because coming into it, like I said, I didn't know anything about the VTuber community. I didn't even know any like I didn't know anything about the VTuber community at all. Like apart from like maybe like tutorial videos, right? So like I said, the first person I saw, the first like tutorial video I saw was from Kilakuma, and that's how I even like knew what a VTuber was, right? I was like, what is this? And I was like, oh, okay. So there was that. Then there was like I said, I didn't know anybody personally within the space. I was just out here, so I was just streaming to like into the void, right? I didn't do any like special debuts or anything like that. Like there was none of that. I had a very janky model, and I didn't really know what I was doing for like the first year of streaming, right? And then one day, like after like my first year anniversary, I said, yeah, we're taking it serious now. But like I didn't really get to know anybody until like maybe like I say like 4 months into streaming. So
That's valid.
I had gone it alone for like 4 months.
That's honestly valid. Cause like I can say when I first got into VTubing, I know my biggest worry, and I don't know if this was probably a worry for you, was just like the voice aspect. Because even to this day, I still hate hearing my voice. Like, I've gotten used to where I can watch my clips back and hear my commentary and laugh at my own commentary, and I'm just like, oh, actually kind of funny. But just hearing my voice all the time, I was just like, I don't like how this sounds. And it's just like, I always worried if like my voice ever matched my model. And most people who encounter me, they're just like, oh yeah, your voice matches your model really well. And I'm like, thank you. It does not seem that way, but you know, that's great that you think so.
Oh yeah. Now, in the beginning, like I kind of like did like I kind of had to like talk a certain way. I felt like I had to speak a certain way because
Mm-hmm.
like naturally I felt like I was just getting some of the wrong attention,
Oh
if you get what I'm
yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
But after some time, I kind of was just like, even today, even to this day, I still deal with it to a certain extent. Like there are people like just the other day, somebody was like, your voice doesn't this voice that you have going on right now that does not match your model, right? And I mean, it's nothing new to me
Uh,
because like my voice doesn't match my IRL self either.
like I feel like it does though. Like I've seen your IRL self and I've also seen your VTuber model, and I feel like it's a your voice, in my humble opinion, maybe it's just because I've heard you for so long, if it matches really well.
Yeah, like I thought like it's so much to the point because like I get it IRL as well, right? So it's so much to the point where like even at my last job, when they hired me, like they were like they thought they were hiring like some 6'2", 200 pound something guy. And then I walk in the door and they're like, "Oh, who are you?" It was like, "Oh, who are you here to see?" Yeah, I'm here
Mm.
for the job. And they're like, "Huh? That's you?"
Not this you. Mm.
So
Listen,
like, yeah, that's just how it is for me.
I ain't gonna expose who, and I hope if they watch this VOD back, they'll know I'm assuming I'm talking about them, but I'm not gonna reveal them. But somebody did approach me about your voice one time when I rated my community into you, and they were just like, "Oh, how old are they?" And I'm just like, mm. I never questioned it, and you don't have to answer that. I mean that, because I don't want you to dox yourself or like reveal too much about your personality and stuff like that. Well, not your personality, but your personal identifiable information. Um, but yeah, I was just like, I did not expect somebody to comment this closely on Xander's voice, because at the end of the day, I was just like, well, this is just Xander. Like, I don't know. It's just like this is just like I saw nothing out of the norm in that moment, because I was just like, I'm used to this. Like, this is just how Xander sounds, and I don't know. I don't know. I will say one person whose voice was very jarring to me when I first heard it was my VTuber brother Segoy. um,
Mm.
and it had that weird effect on me where I was just like, oh god, deep voice. Was not expecting this low of tone, to the point where I was just like, I feel some type of way. In a good way, but like it's just like I should not feel this type of way. And
Oh
the
my lord.
more I lurked in his streams, and I still do to this day, I got used to his voice, to the point where it's just like now it's just like it's I'm immune to it now. It's like you can't seduce me with your vocal cords no more.
No, I still catch people by surprise because like there's the people who are so used to like me being like super amped up and energetic, or
Hmm.
talking in like maybe like a higher register, right? But like I had this conversation the other day and I'm just like, you know, doing that sometimes it just kind of like, you know, sometimes I just want to preserve that. Like
Yeah.
sometimes, like like I don't want to like burn through unnecessary energy. Sometimes I just kind of want to lay back and I want to be cool and like I just want to chill. You know,
Right.
like so like when people do that, like it used to like when people like be like, oh, like they get like a certain type of way when they felt that kind of way about it. I kind of like shy away from like giving my natural tone of voice.
Hmm.
But like I'm leaning more towards being like, no, like I said, I'm gonna be unapologetically me,
Yep.
and that's what I want to be. I want to be unapologetically me. So this is a package deal. The voice is a part of the package.
Exactly. And that's the thing that I also had to like kind of get over, because I was just like, I don't want to put on a facade for other people to think that, oh, Blazet is this. I mean, listen, I'm cool. I don't care what any of y'all say. but like this cool entity that's just like, listen, she'll stomp on your throat and, call you like bad boy or, bad girl or anything of that nature. Like that's the air that I want her to have with like just her visuals. But I don't want y'all to come in here and just think that that's what I do. It's just like at the end of the day, I'm just like, no, I'm just me. Hi, haha. I poke fun at you because like I feel like people who don't know me at all, they see the silly side of me and they're just like, this is not what I expected at all. Not what I expected at all. I'm just like, yeah, that's because I'm being authentically me.
Yeah. And I think at like first glance, right? Like somebody will see this outfit, right? Like this isn't like my main one. This is just one that I've debuted this month and I've just been rocking. I might debut another one next month. But like at first glance, some people would probably look and they'd be like, oh yeah, he's probably like, one of those e-boys,
Not
probably gonna hit you with that deep voice, smooth talk, all that extra stuff. But then like when they see the streams, it's chaotic energy.
mm-hmm.
It is chaotic energy. There is a lot of memery going on. There's some chill days. We have our chill days, but like for the most part, that's what you get. Like you get that chaos, you get that gremlin energy, you get that jokester. Like so, like yeah, like at first glance, people will be like, "Oh yeah, I know what type of VTuber he is. He's one of those e-boy, deep voice kind of guys." And yes, I have that look and appearance, and I have the deep voice, but there's way more beneath the surface.
Right. Exactly. And I feel like that's the hardest thing that most viewers have to like understand is just like you can't just take it at face value. You have to literally sit there and get to know the streamer, to know the content creator that you're, seeing in front of you. Because it's so much more than just like, oh, they pretty model and that's it. It's like, no, just get to know their personality. You'll see what they're about. Get to know their interests.
Yeah. And that's like, I think that's like the beautiful thing about it. Because like, and like that's another thing. Like I like so I like the appearance, right? Because like it makes them think one thing, and then they get a completely different thing, and they're just like, wait, what? Oh, yeah, it's lovely.
It is. So the Professor Bro asks, what were the reactions you got to the VTuber community kinda sucks video?
Mostly positive reactions. Because everybody felt as if I, pretty much said everything like objectively true. Like everything that I said was objectively true. Yes. Now I did get some of like the backlash from some people who either A, did not watch the video, or there's either A, people who did not watch the video, the people would be like, oh, he's clout chasing, oh, he's a tourist, I hate him,
don't you just love those
he doesn't
folks?
know anything. And then I did get the hatred from the ones who the say Drake yeah, though that side of the community, yeah, I ain't gonna say, but if you know, yeah. So I got a lot of people who were pretty much like, most of the people loved it. They thought that everything that I said in the video was objectively true. And like there were others, that were saying that either that A didn't watch it, or were pissed off because I brought up certain parts of the community. The Say Drake side of community,
Yes.
Yeah. So the backlash, very little, but for the most part, positive.
I love that because I remember when that video popped off and I was just like, good for Xander, man, for actually speaking out on a lot of things that, again, people won't say. I know I'm bad about, like, not speaking my truth on a lot of things that I see within the VTubing community or VTubing sphere or whatever you want to refer to it as. Um, but it's just like, I'm always glad to see somebody say the quiet part out loud most of the times, which is why I also love doing these sort of segments with people, because it's just like, I want to get other people's perspectives of, what's happening in the sphere and people's feelings about certain things or subject matters or incidences that happen in the sphere. And you don't have to like please do not make my streams like call out points like, listen, Blastoid 71, he know what he did. He over here talking some mess about, like, this, that, and the other, and I'm like, oh no, this is not what this is about. You keep that over on your stream. Don't bring that over here, please.
Look. I do not like sparking up drama in any sense. It's just that video, because like I went into it because I was just like, look, I've been wanting to talk about this for a hot minute, and like I don't want to like. This isn't like to call out any one person out in particular, but like, people are gonna be like, oh, well, he's saying this kind of sucks. So like, cause like me, I knew titling it like that would catch people's attention in a certain way, because it was just like, okay, what does he mean? What does he mean by that? And I'm like, okay, let me show you what I'm talking about first. Let me give you and pinpoint the exact examples of what I'm talking about so that you have an understanding. And if you miss the point, if you see the point and you agree with me, cool. If you see the point and you don't agree with me, okay, that's cool. Not everybody's always going to agree with this, but I want to talk about this, and I want to like shed light to the negative stuff, and with the hope that maybe people would be a little more mindful about it, or a little more aware about it, and just shine a light on it, and maybe people will be more self-aware about or understanding of some of the issues that go on in here. Like one of the biggest things that I remember talking about in that video was how it is difficult for anybody with melanin in the space. Like,
yep, say it louder.
Yeah, it is difficult for people of color in this space, especially because we got a lot of artists that either will outright refuse to draw our skin tones, or will outright just whitewash us, or like it's just crazy. We got that, and then we got the people who just don't like us in the space at all, because VTuber community is an extension of the anime community, and well, you know how they treat us.
Exactly. And it's just like, yeah, no, we like, they want to pretend like they don't want to perceive us, I feel like, because like, even again, going back to whole Black History Month situation with how much and I can't stress this enough, it's disheartening to see how much discourse that I've seen from my perspective on other things that don't involve me or may have involved me, where people are butting heads, and it's supposed to be a month about celebrating Black culture and coming together to celebrate Black culture.
Exactly.
And it just bewilders me. It's like, why are we attacking one another? And I know one of the ones that I saw come up this timeline this week was the Suki Amato. We're still talking about it. We are still, and it's like, I feel bad for Sukiya, because they worked so hard on putting together a model that other people could use and be cost friendly, especially for those who are just like, I want to get into this VTubing sphere, but it's just like, I don't have the funds to do so, and I don't know where to start or anything of that nature. And it's just like, I get that people of color like us, like we want to see like more curly hair textures, Afrocentric textures represented when it comes to like VTuber assets and models even. And just to give y'all just a little bit of background, because I'm not going to touch on this too much, just because I know how much discourse comes from all of this. But there's a person called Sukiya who created a customizable model where it literally has anime features. You can customize the eyes, the hair, the fit. Like they thought of pretty much a good chunk of things that you could do with that model and basically represent yourself accurately. And yes, Mazume, I don't know that for a fact because I haven't spoken to Lovmura, but also at the same time, I'm just like, I respect my VTuber parents and, you know, folks who I am cool with in their personal stuff that they're going with, because I know Bree does have a hair tutorial out there, which those links actually show you some of the tutorials that she has that encompasses Afrocentric hairstyles. And I believe it's that last link, that's what it is. That's the one where you can see how she even rigged Afrocentric hairstyles. And so I know one of the folks who was in the thread for like the whole discourse with Sukiya model. Sukiya wanted to work with Lovmura, but she saw that their commissions were closed, which is understandable. And I know Bree, I'll be honest, she is busy this year. I know that for a fact. She is busy this year. So if she's willing to work with Sukiya and doing that behind the scenes, good for her, especially if she's getting paid for it. As long as, like, you know, she's getting her bag or, like, you know, putting her name out there in a way where, you know, she can represent, good for her. Whatever her choice is, I'm 100% behind it. But people were giving Sukiya a hard time because they didn't encompass like the Afrocentric hair textures that, you know, again, people of color typically would like to see on models. Black people, indigenous people, like, you know, we'd love to see that, but it's just like people felt like, oh well, we overlooked again, and so people started attacking Sukiya. People were just miscommunicating in, you know, various ways about this, and it's like, I get it, I hear the frustrations, but that still doesn't justify harassing her over this. Like, they said that they blatantly just don't know how to do that. And, you know, when they were putting that together, because I can't imagine like that just taking like, you know, overnight thing and it's just like, yeah, we're done with this. No, the amount of work that probably went into that model, if I remember correctly, it was like over a year. So like there's that. And then also, if they wanted to incorporate Afrocentric hair textures, they have to take time out of their day to study that on top of doing that before pushing out that model. So I get the mindset that they had, which was like, I want to get this out the door, and then maybe in the next iteration incorporate Afrocentric hairstyles. Again, it's still not promised, but it's just something that if they want to pursue that, they can choose to do so. And, you know, if they don't ever want to pursue it, then let it be. Yeah. Like, there's plenty of other resources and other people who are willing to go out of their way to even do the same work that Sukiya did to also cover like Afrocentric hairstyles. But again, leave Sukiya alone. Like, the harassment and all that stuff, that needs to stop. That genuinely needs to stop, because I'm tired of seeing it. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, honestly, I think it would have been worse had they had put out like say like if they had like maybe like half-assed a couple like, you know, examples of like some like black hairstyles, because then like the conversation be another problem. It'd be another problem. So I mean, like it was one of those situations where I feel like it's damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, the From Soft special where they give you the buzz cut or the or the two afros, yes. or maybe the Killmonger.
Oh God, just imagine the Killmonger. Just know, everybody gonna look at that and just, they're gonna have that Koofy hat on there and they're gonna give the side eye like, what the fuck, really? Really, the Killmonger cut? As many times as we've seen this, I would start a fight. Listen, remember what was that popular? God, I keep forgetting the name of it. Y'all know what it is. The fight out with the boats and the chairs.
Oh yeah.
The that's what will break out. That we'll literally have a round 2 of that only with the VTubing community with just foldable chairs just flying everywhere. Oh god.
Yeah.
The
Oh
Waffle
my
House,
goodness.
no. Yeah, the Montgomery Brawl. That's thank you, Mazume. Thank you. You knew
Yo, they
exactly
had
what I was talking about.
Aquaman, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Aquaman. I think that was
Oh,
like the
man.
funniest thing. Man jumped in that water, swam across
Yes.
just to get in.
Yes, he was like, "Nah, I'm fighting for my people." I was like, "Yes, I am that man. I am him." Oh man. But yeah, it's just it's something where I'm just like, y'all need to chill out. Like, can we not have this during Black History Month? You can do this anytime of outside of the year. If you want to be hateful, do that in March. Sacrifice my birthday month to be hateful. I'll still side eye you and look at you like, dang man,
Mm-hmm.
you need some help. You need therapy. We'll get you some therapy. It's okay. And I ain't saying that to be funny. Like, if you need therapy, please go seek help, please.
Oh, 100%.
Like, I do not joke about mental health. I genuinely mean that when I say seek help, please. Please do the thing. Oh, look who it is. It's Tiffany.
Hey.
Welcome in, everyone. Is there ever a month where something doesn't go down in the VTubing sphere? Like, oh god, I feel like there isn't.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Honestly, like, speaking of that one video, I could have had like 18 of those by now. But
yes.
like, I'm not trying to be singing the same.
Yeah. That, and also, I don't want you to have like a forever target on your back about things. Also, this is such a cute emote. I'm sorry, I'm distracted.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, no, you've done enough, in my humble opinion, Xander. Like, only if you feel behooved to do so do you do it. But honestly, I don't want people to get overly harassed over things that just should be, and I hate saying this, but it's just like, it should just be common sense. Like, why are we doing this?
Yeah, it really should be, but sadly it isn't. And like the thing is like, one of the things that I've come to learn is that not everybody in within this space has the social awareness, or not everybody in this space has the social awareness. Not everybody in this space understands, because like, you got a lot of people who are either like, socially inept, a lot of things like that. So they don't know or understand, or they've never been in certain situations where they can understand of certain perspectives from other people. Right. So like, you got to take that into account as well. And yeah, like, a lot of people don't understand that. It's just common sense exists.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's unfortunately not common.
And it's just, and we talked about this yesterday as well. It's just like, communication is key, and just understanding where the other person who you're communicating with is coming from, as well as vice versa. Meeting that common ground is really what it boils down to. And it's just like, I understand not everybody has the best communicative skills when it comes to that. And also, just again, that whole social awareness piece is just like, I need you to have this. I need you to have this. It's the only way that we can really come to an agreement, or a respect to, agree to disagree type of situation. But yeah. Man, we touched on a lot of things. We're still going. I didn't think we were going to touch on hot takes today, but we definitely touched on some hot takes with the Sukiya model beast.
Oh yeah.
So also, those welcome. I've lost my train of thought because I just disregarded the raid that came in. Welcome everyone to Uppies for Beauties and Baddies, the BIPOC POC experience, where I, your host, Blaze at Midnight, the baddest drag queen Vtuber on Twitch, invite some incredibly talented individuals to spend a little time with me while getting grilled in the Dragon's Den. Today we have Xander Digital discussing themselves, their journey into content creation, and anything else they wish to speak their truth on. Mods drop the socials, viewers peep the chat, and be sure to follow these beauties and baddies to know where it's at. Time to celebrate and elevate it. Let's get it poppin'. And also those just joining the stream, if you have any questions for Xander today, you are more than welcome to drop it in chat. Myself and the mods will pick them up as we go, and we'll try to either interject it into the interview process, if not, meet them towards the end. So feel free. This is a very, lax, comfy, cozy, just kind of like peek into the mindset of other creatives type of event. So, if you don't know Xander, go ahead and follow Xander. You can literally click on his name in the title and go follow him. Do it right now. Do it right now. What are you doing? Why aren't you following him right now? Follow him. Oh goodness. Ooh, this is a good question. Does your character have lore? And if so, tell us about it. Oh wait, yeah, you did share this. Actually, you did. But go even more detail about it, because you said in your intro. I just realized that.
So, Xander, am a musical artist and producer who got isekai'd into the internet. One night, I was working on some music while in the studio, and I got struck by lightning, and I ended up within the computer. Yes, that is how we got here. That's how I got stuck in the internet. I've been here since 2020, and it's been a blast.
I love that. It's funny you say this, and I will just DM you why. I can't say it out loud, but oh wait, hold up. See, I almost typed in the wrong chat, and so many people would have seen things.
Oh my lord. Since at least my music was brought with me? Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Okay. The fear of mistyping. Look,
yes.
that is a legitimate fear. Like, do you know how many times I caught myself about to send something in a chat when I meant to send it in a DM? I'm like, I type it up. I'm like, all right. Oh wait, that's the wrong chat. Let me copy and paste that over.
Oh man, I've done that. What was it? I think relatively. That's what it was. I think it was when I was about to raid Tiffany. And I think I had like something in support of Lovmura on my stream. And I copied that and almost posted that in Tiffany's chat when we were raiding over. And I panicked as soon, like before I hit send. I was like, no, don't send this. I'll get banned.
I think that's happened to me once, but lucky it was not anything crazy. It was just like a relatable post, and I meant to send it to somebody, but like I accidentally sent it in a chat, and I was like, ooh. I meant to copy the raid message and not that. Like,
oh gosh, I think somebody even typed. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
They were like, yeah, I relate to this. I was like, I'm sorry, I meant to send this, not that. You could delete that.
Exactly. I think somebody typed their password once in like my chat or something to that effect, and I was just like, well, at least we're glad that, we don't know what you were trying to type that password in to, but, you might want to change that.
Yeah, change your password.
Because the amount of times that I've almost also slipped up and did that myself, I'm like, ooh, no. No. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's scary.
What is one
Oh man.
hobby or skill you feel others may not know about yourself, but would like to showcase them on stream? You've already mentioned the fashion one, so you can't say that one.
Well, I mean, hmm, a talent or skill. Let's see. Well, here's the thing. I'm a jack of all trades.
Mm-hmm.
So, there are plenty of different things. I'm not sure. Like, I feel like I'm constantly showcasing like different things at different times. Maybe, maybe when I get back into art, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do some art streams. It's been something I've thought about doing, but I'm not quite confident with where I am right now. I used to do it a lot
Yeah,
more, but yeah. Yeah, jack of
understandable.
all trades, master of none, but is better than one. Yeah.
That. There you go.
Yeah.
What is one thing the VTubing community did that you did not expect?
One thing that the VTuber community did that I did not expect.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Honestly, when I first got into VTubing, I didn't expect there to be as many black VTubers as there already. So that was honestly a surprise to me. Like I was like, man, because I honestly didn't expect it.
Yeah.
Because like I just didn't think about it like so, like I just didn't really think there would be as many. But I am so glad that there is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I also didn't think that that kind of also took me a little bit by surprise. I won't say like too much, only just because I figured there were other black creatives. It's just I didn't know there were gonna be so many black VTubers. And I think the first time where I got to see a lot of us was maybe like the first year that I was a VTuber. And again, Black History Month came around and somebody curated a thread linking to various black VTubers. And I was like, oh, there's this one and this one and this one and this one and this one. There's so many of y'all.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And that's something that is something that I love to see because it's just like
Mm-hmm.
because when I got into this, I felt so alone. I
Yep.
was like, man, like I said, I went it alone for like 4 months before I even figured out anything about the VTuber community. Before I met anybody from the VTuber community. In fact, the first people I met from the VTuber community were black, and I was like, let's go! I'm not alone anymore.
Yes, like I'm not alone. Yippee! Oh man, that's so validating.
Yeah.
Um, what are your thoughts on VTuber corporations?
Um, honestly, I'm not really into the corpo stuff as much, and I don't really interact with it as much. But from what I know, I feel like I feel like hmm, there's a lot of like ups, but there's also a lot of downs. Like I feel as if like people in corporations they are heavily restricted as to what they can do and like I
Yes.
would never want to be a part of like a corporation unless I had certain freedoms, right? So I feel like hmm, like I feel like they have to like they're on like a very tight leash, and that is something I'm not really a fan of.
Yeah. And I agree from that aspect as well. It was that, and then also the fact that they get to, I won't say V Shoujo because you get to carry over your model from there, but
Hmm.
with most, like a good majority of the big name corporations, you don't get to carry your model over. So like it's almost like you have no say in terms of like how you look, and how you appeal to everybody else. And I'm just like, I want full, you know, freedom to be able to do that, because the way that my model looks is a big piece in terms of how I want to represent myself at the end of the day in my content. So if you take that
Yeah.
away from me and give me, you know, a whitewashed model, I'm just gonna look at that and be like, ick. Ick.
Yeah. and like it's crazy because like a lot of like corpo VTubers, I'm like say for like maybe like a V Shoujo, right? Because V Shoujo,
Mm-hmm.
they pretty much they get to be who they were from before, and of course they just have to be a little more marketable, you know.
Right.
So they have to tone down certain aspects, right? But like for the most part, they get to be them. They get to carry over their looks, their designs and stuff. But like say like, oh man, let's say I get like pulled into like Hollow Live or something like that, or Hollow Stars or something like that. And they're
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, so this is your personality. And like, all right, you're gonna be the like they're gonna be like, all right, Xander, you're no longer gonna go by Xander, you're gonna go by Axel, and you're gonna be this silky smooth talking like light skinned, and I mean like and they're and you gotta be like, this is gonna be your design. You're gonna be like, I don't know, like you're gonna be like some shirtless like himbo dude.
Oh no. You gotta do the peck twerk too. You gotta incorporate that as well.
They're like they have like everything down to the content basically like they're like, all right, this is what we need from you. You're gonna do like at least 3 ASMR streams a month, and I'm just like, well, this isn't me. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Oh man. Ugh.
says Terry Crews.
I know you mentioned voice acting before. What about voice acting appealed to you to make you want to pursue it?
Well, one of the things that make me want to pursue it is because I know I have a range. So I can I can go high, I can go low. There's a lot that I can do with this. Like I can- I can make my voice even deeper than this. I think there's a good impression that I can do. Like one of my favorite ones that most people think would destroy most people's throats. I can do a Venom impression.
Oh God, you were powerful for
Yeah,
that one. You were very powerful for that one. Cause I
yeah.
could never. I mean, I can do the demon voice, but that's about it. But even that wears on like my vocal cords when I do that. Not the 19 inches of voice act. We gonna move on to the next question. Oh lordy lord.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, what are your thoughts on growing as a VTuber through collabs versus streaming by yourself?
Well, I feel like it's a double-edged sword because yes, while you can grow from collabs potentially, like that doesn't necessarily mean that you can perform well by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, there's the whole aspect of being able to bounce off of personalities well, like I spoke of earlier. Like bouncing off of other people's personalities, being able to uh fill in the gaps of like the silence in between other people when you're doing a collabs, like say like you get to a talking point, or say like you're doing something in game and you guys are like chatting it up. Like you got to not only know how to bounce off of that, but then like if you're by yourself, you also got to know how to like bounce off of the chat.
Right.
So that, you know, if you grow from collabs, yeah, that's, you know, that's great. Growing from collabs is always great, and growing by yourself is always great. But like it's a double-edged sword no matter how you look at it, because just because you can do one doesn't mean that you can do the other.
Exactly. And that's one thing that I've noticed when it comes to like collabs and oh my god, Salem. And just kind of like also streaming by yourself is like you have to kind of like find your voice and learn how to market yourself uh in like mixed spaces, but also by yourself as well. Because if you're always going to use collabs as like your main means of like getting people to your stream, then people technically just don't know who you are at the end of the day, because it's just like, well, how well do you know or interact with your community by yourself versus, having somebody there that's always there, that's not technically a part of your brand, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, that totally makes sense. And I don't know, with like solo, it's great because like everybody gets to see who you are all the time. But like when it comes to collabs, they might not get that. Like there might be a filter you have that you put
Right.
up, or there might be like, you know, if it's like the first time you're collabing with somebody, you can't really like go all in like that. So like,
Mm-hmm.
because then you have to consider their audience as well,
Right.
you know?
And
Yeah.
that's the thing that's always getting me, which is why I try my best when it comes to collabs. I'm not saying that, we have, well, our energies do have to match to some degree. Because like, if
Yeah.
if there's nothing there for us to talk or like bounce ideals off of, it's gonna be hard collabing with them, especially like if it's just like the energies are just way off. Like it's just like, all right, I don't know what to
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah, which is
So
why when I try to do collabs, I typically like try to like get people who like one thing I've learned to do is try to get people together whose energies would most likely like blend
mm-hmm.
together. Like not like clashing personalities or anything
Yes.
like that, or like I would I try to aim for people that I know would probably mesh well, or most likely would mesh well. But or if I don't already know that they wish like mesh well, um I try my best to try and make sure that they're like, okay, I know this person's personality, I know this person's personality. Okay, I think that me being the medium, like it would
Yes.
work out.
Exactly. And that's kind of how I like to try and like gauge it for like smaller collabs versus like the massive ones that I experimented with. I'll put it that way. I don't know if I'll do another one necessarily again, because I'll be honest, I've realized when I started doing collabs where it's like 8 people in my ear, I kind of get audio
Hmm.
overload, and I'm just like, ooh, this is a lot.
Yeah.
Just like I would rather it just be down to like 4 to 5 people, like max roughly about 5 people. Anything higher than
Yeah.
that, it's a little bit much for me personally. So
No, that's totally understandable. That is totally understandable.
um
Like
oh, go ahead.
like having a lot of people, it can be sensory overload,
Mm-hmm.
especially for others. Like some people could probably handle it, but others most likely not.
Yeah. It's a lot sometimes. I did have one question for you, and I've forgotten it now. Dang it.
Ooh.
Take it. I want to say it was to play off of the collabs piece, and I've completely forgotten it, but that's okay, because what I want to ask you now is, what is one of your best experiences as a VTuber?
One of my best experiences as a VTuber. Ooh. Hmm. I gotta think about this one. Um,
Yes, another stumper.
one of my best experiences as a VTuber. Um, I think now I know like when I was starting out, one of the best experiences I got was like when I would put out like freestyles, right? On
Ooh,
like
yes.
share out the freestyles on Twitter. I thought about getting back into that, but like I don't know. Like I'm just not in a position to do that right now. But like one of the best experiences I would get was when I got like a lot of love on that, and like you know how like accepting people were of that, because I was like, ooh, like I was like, oh, y'all like that? I
Oh,
was like, they're like, you did that, you did that. I'm like, okay, all right.
yep, yep.
Oh my lord.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's
That
it's
is probably one of.
Yeah, it's nice when other people can like really tell you that they genuinely enjoy your content. I think that's one of the most validating things or feelings that a content creator can get is when they see people happy and excited to like consume your content. And they're just like, "Oh, yes, I want to eat it up." It's like, "Thank you for dropping that next video," or "Thank you for dropping, the next you know, music piece or anything of that caliber that encompasses your content. So,
Hmm.
but shifting gears from best, what's one of the worst experiences that you had as a VTuber?
Oh. Oh.
I feel like that's 10 times easier than the best ones.
One of the worst experiences that I've had as a VTuber. I remember back before everybody was getting like mass hate raids. I remember
Mm.
I was specifically targeted by an individual for hate raids, and it was almost daily.
What?
It was during my first year of streaming. Um, yeah, I had a hater. They were like, who told you to keep streaming? This, that. Like, I was just like, man, I had to fight against that. And I just kept pushing, kept pushing. It was mentally taxing because like they would come in with that. They would be like sending me hate all the time.
Oh
And
god.
eventually they saw I wasn't going to stop streaming. They was trying to get me to quit. And it didn't work. But it was a terrible time.
Oh, that that honestly sounds terrible, and it's just like I feel like in that situation, like could you ban them, or were they like using like throwaway accounts to like get around that too?
Yeah, they were using like throwaway accounts.
Yeah.
They had like burners. They had like burner accounts, and like it was weird because like they had like a little group. And so
What?
like
Oh,
yeah,
see, that's
yeah,
that weird parasocial shit again. I'm sorry. Ugh.
yeah. And it was all because I didn't want to be their friend. Like, yeah, yeah. Weird people on the internet.
Mm. Mm.
And I'm still here.
Mm. 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 Yeah, that's strange.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, when it comes to boundaries, what are some items or expectations a viewer should have when it comes to you and your content?
When it comes to boundaries, I would say, um, just respect goes a long way. Treat me the way you want to be treated.
That part.
You know, like you come in my chat talking crazy, I'm gonna talk to you crazy. like if you come in my chat talking to me crazy, then I'm gonna talk to you crazy.
Yeah.
If you wondering why I'm talking to you crazy, it's probably because you talk to me crazy.
That part. Oh man.
Exactly.
Yep, exactly, Masame. Exactly. It's like these hands are rated E for everyone. So, moving on to other VTubers in the sphere. Do you have an Oshi? And if so, who are they?
Do I have an Oshi? Honestly, I don't know if I can. I don't know if I do have one. Um,
It's okay to not
I don't
have
know.
one.
Yeah, I don't know if I do have an Oshi. I don't know if I can say that I have an Oshi for sure. It's just one of those things.
That's fair. Because I feel like, again, not everybody has to have like an idol or somebody that they look up to, um, or just like, or just. It, no, I'm not gonna say down bad. I just feel like that's a little weird. but
Yeah.
some people are very down bad for their Oshi, and that's okay as long as boundaries again are respected. When it comes to that sort of thing, but um, it's okay to just like vibe and just be like, yeah, no, I'm just chilling. Befriending who I want to roll with, and you know keeping my boundaries known to those who I'm just like, listen, I know we cool, but we ain't that cool, so just chill out over here. So
Yeah, yeah. I don't really have an Oshi. You know, if I enjoy your content, I do my best. Like I always like try my best to like lurk in people's streams and you know just support where I can. But
yeah,
any like Oshis, like I've never gotten to that point.
yeah. Um, Instead of Oshi, would you happen to have two, or not two, excuse me, three influential VTubers in your life? And if so, how did they impact you? I know
People who are
Killakuma's. Oh, go ahead.
influences.
Yeah, like
Okay.
anyone who may have like influenced your VTubing career, or like even if it's just like something that's just like, oh, you know what, that's a good ideal, um, to sort of like curate your content, or like you as a creative,
Well,
and they don't necessarily.
I gotta say,
Well, yeah, go
oh,
ahead.
I gotta say, like I mentioned earlier, I probably would have never found VTubing if I never came across that one Killakuma video. So Killakuma, yeah, and I like their artwork. Like I respect
Mm-hmm.
them as an artist. They are they were like really down to earth. They were really chill. Just like an overall vibe of a person. Um,
Honestly.
Another one, my boy Keishan.
I knew it was coming.
Yeah, my boy Keishan. Um, like I don't know. I, I see him stream, and it motivates me to keep streaming.
There you go.
So there's that. Um, yeah, like I don't know. Like it's just like when I see him stream and I see like how far he goes, and it kind of
Mm-hmm.
motivates me to keep pushing because it's just like he started around the same time I did. Well, he started before I did just a little bit, but like same year as I did.
Right.
He's gotten like to where he is. He's done a lot in the community, a lot in the space. And like when I see him, just it makes me want to keep going. Um and I think that's really all I can like list, like just thinking like for this moment right here.
That's
Ah,
fine.
yeah, yeah.
That is perfectly fine. When it comes to consuming other people's content, what are your top 3 must-haves?
Well, when it comes to consuming other people's content, honestly, it's one of those things where it's just like they gotta seem like a genuine personality.
Mm.
Like if it feels like I don't know, artificial, and it's just like I can't do it. If it feels like I'm not saying that like you can't be like acting or anything like that or role playing or anything like that, but it's just
Right.
like that personality, like some personalities feel forced, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I can't do that. Also like they can't really be like an asshole. I'm not really like into like the asshole streamers. It's just like it's just like what's the point? Like
Yeah, exactly.
like you like if you're respectful to your chat, like I can respect that. Um, it, I don't know. It's more of like a personality thing for me. That's how I
Yeah.
typically gravitate towards a lot of the content that I consume.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
it's it's similar to for me where it's just like I know like my three must haves is your community has to be pretty comfy and cozy. And I don't mean like, oh, you have the soft voice and no hyper energy or anything like that. Cause like, there are some streams where it's just like there's a lot of chaoticness going on that I love vibing in. Um but typically the ones that I gravitate towards is just like what you pointed out, where it's just like the streamer's not an asshole, the community isn't an asshole, the mods aren't assholes, because the amount of times where I've gone into a stream where the streamer is cool, but
Mm-hmm.
their chat or their mods are completely different from the streamer that is streaming. And I'm just like, now, because like, let's say if I came into like, your chat and I'm just like, hey, Zender, and one of your mods are just like, ooh, who's this raggedy bitch? I'm not coming back to your stream. I'm not
Ooh.
coming back to your stream. I don't even care if it was a joke. I'm not coming
I'm
back
like,
to
ooh.
your
Yeah, you see, that would be like the like I would probably look if somebody did that and like a mod of mine did that, they would be demodded so fast. That sword would be gone.
Same, like, oh, child. I literally would have to do the 1-2 take if one of my mods
I'd be
did
out
that.
here. Yeah,
Like,
I'd
I
be
better
out
be
here.
like, y'all better know each other really well before y'all talk to each other that way.
Yeah.
Ooh.
The only way I could talk like the only way I could accept that is if like they know each other,
Yeah,
or if it's
exactly.
like, like they know each other, or it's like an established kind of thing. Like, but if it's somebody brand new, oh no. No, 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 no. Y'all gotta go. Like
And see, I've been to streams where they weren't luckily that extreme, but they've said something out the side of their neck where I'm just like, dang, I just got here and y'all already acting the mess. This don't make me want to chat with y'all. This makes me want to flee the stream. Like, ooh,
mm,
I
mm.
can't be here no more. And so that's what I mean by like comfy cozy. The other thing is just like, listen, you ain't got to chat with me all the time, but have some sort of personality and like awareness that, there's chat there. You want to build a connection with them. I mean, you ain't got to be their best friends or anything like that, but be aware of chat and like communicate back to your chat. And I know like there have been like some discussion around viewers who are just like, well, I don't like, streamers who, have like a million and one alerts go off when somebody follows them or raids them and this, that, and the other. Especially if like they're playing like a narrative game and stuff like that. And I'm just like, YouTube exists, right? like
Yeah.
like if you're in it for purely the story and not necessarily the streamer, YouTube exists, and you can literally look up any gameplay of like, The Walking Dead, The Last of Us, all this other stuff purely on YouTube. I've done it a number of times where it's just like, I want to hear no one talk. I just want to watch the game for the story. And then, when I'm ready to hear somebody commentate or, see what their choices were through a playthrough, I will go to that streamer stream and vibe there. But usually it's just like when somebody is live, it's just like I expect the, communication aspect to be there. Not just to themselves, but to chat as well. And it's okay if you're streaming to like just 0 viewers or like 1 or 2 viewers and they may be lurking about and you're not talking directly to them. That's good practice to show that you have communicative skills when you're streaming. But have some interaction with your chat. Like, don't just
Yeah,
ignore
you
them.
just can't be like like I don't like it when it's like I pop up into a stream and it's just like, you know, the person's just sitting there, like they say like one thing like maybe like every 30 minutes. It's just like,
Mm-hmm.
wow. And then like silence for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
And then like
Oh.
somebody pops up in the chat and they're like, oh hi, how are you doing today? Well, you know, I had a ham sandwich. And, you're just like, bro, like, talk to me.
Exactly. I had a ham sandwich. I drunk some water, it lubricated my throat.
Oh my goodness.
And then the last thing, exactly what you touched on, is just like that genuine personality. I can smell fakery, fake any time of day. And it's just like, I already realized that, you know, some of the, again, I don't mind if you role play, that's cool and all, but it's the ones who have the airs of like, yes, I'm this great being of doing this, that, and the other, and it's not necessarily role playing, it's just their personality. I'm like, nah, I can't stay here. Ooh, you doing a lot, baby. You doing a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I'm thinking of something, but like,
no, I think we're thinking the same thing, but you know, we gonna leave that in the past. Put it that way. Oh man. How do you typically find other VTubers?
Well, sometimes I'll like look through mutuals, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes I will find other VTubers through mutuals. Sometimes I will, you know, take a look, and maybe sometimes like I'll like not look through mutuals. Like maybe I might find somebody who has like a really interesting design and I like that catches my eye, right? And I might check them out and I see, oh, well, what are they talking about? Let's see what they're talking about. Sometimes others find me. Honestly, I say more people have found me than I have found them.
Same. Not you found us on Twitter. But I love that though. And see, this is more validation where it's just like, you know, you have to get yourself out there and on other platforms for discoverability. Because you never know where people may find you.
Yeah. Like I have people who found me from Twitter, Blue Sky. Every once in a while, I'm like, I remember before I would get like maybe like a few people from TikTok, but you know, I took a break from that. I just got back into it. Of course, I had like a number of people find me from that VTuber video.
Oh yeah.
Whether it was good or bad.
Yeah, that as well. So didn't think about that, but yeah, that's very true.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much how I find others. Mostly through mutuals.
Nice. Name one VTuber who you would love to collab with and why.
One VTuber I would love to collab with. Who? One?
Yes.
see this.
Oh,
this is
do you have
like,
multiple?
Oh man. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. List the multiple. Go ahead. I'm curious.
I mean like, let's see. I mean, one, they probably don't even know who I am. Probably Segoy.
Oh my god, yes! I would love to see that. I'm 100% behind this. Yes.
Yeah. That I'll just keep it simple. I'll say that.
Okay. 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 That's fair. That's fair.
But yeah.
Is that the only one?
Ooh. I mean, there's more, but
Okay.
I'm just gonna
Okay.
keep it simple. I'm
Okay.
gonna keep it simple.
That is fair. Oh goodness.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
What social platform do you feel your content has benefited the most from, and why?
Well, before I would have said Twitter, because Twitter was, and I'm talking Twitter before. Yeah,
the Great
before,
Purge.
But I would have said Twitter. Honestly, I kind of find it funny because like my biggest platform is Twitch at the moment. It surpassed my my Twitter at this point. But before it surpassed it, it was most definitely Twitter that was carrying me. Maybe I would get like a sprinkle of people from YouTube when I was posting to another channel. Maybe I'd get like a sprinkle of people from like maybe like TikTok or something, but it was primarily Twitter. Now it's a little bit of Blue Sky, maybe a little bit of Twitter, a sprinkle of TikTok. Still people are finding me from the one VTuber video. So yeah.
Nice. So moving on to advice, because I feel like this is something that we should touch on before we close out. What tips have you learned as a content creator?
What tips have I learned as a content creator? I've learned to give yourself grace. Like, you know, there's a lot of pressure to sometimes like get on here and stream, and there's a lot of especially when you have like a lot of drive, a lot of motivation and stuff like that to get into streaming or like making sure that you are staying consistent. Sometimes you need to give yourself grace. Sometimes you got to understand that it's okay to take breaks. Sometimes it's okay, like you got to understand that like, you know, that like, you know, you're human. You like,
yes,
you have to be able to, you know, make sure that you can keep going before you have anything else going, you know? So that is one of the biggest things that I've learned. Yeah.
Sound advice, honestly. One quick circle back around, because I know we lightly touched on this, but it's also very important to me, and I wonder if, well, I'm curious if you've also run into this problem as well, but do you find it easy to find artists for personalized art, merch, or promotional advertisements of your character or content? Why or why not?
I would have to say it's a little bit of yes, but a little bit of no. I do feel pretty limited on artists, but like the artists that I do go to, they tend to get it right all the time, so they're my go-to. But it's kind of hard to try and find other styles, right? Because not everybody can, you know, not everybody has the ability, or not everybody has the knowledge or know how to like, you know, do certain hairstyles correctly, or not everybody has the knowledge or know-how on how to shade certain tones of skin a certain way. So it's just like, that is something that you really gotta keep an eye on. Like I know there was even a time where I got whitewashed, and I was like, wow. I was like, that's not Xander with an X. Yeah, I was like, that's not Xander with an X, that's Xander with a Z. Like,
ooh, child. Oh man. I felt that in my soul. I'm sorry. Cause ooh, wait, no, I got the perfect one. So I won't say what this is tied to, but I showed somebody artwork that I didn't necessarily commission,
Mm-hmm.
but it was something that I received,
Mm-hmm.
and I showed this to a friend because it was whitewashed and they did not draw my curls anywhere appropriately to how they should have been drawn. It basically made it seem like I was wearing a lace front wig with barely any strands.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. Um and my friend, who I've known basically since the beginning of time of my streaming career, said one thing and one thing to me only that made me cackle like I've never cackled before. They Hoyoversed me.
Oh no. Oh no.
They gave me the Hoyoverse treatment.
You know what? I gotta. You know what? I'm gonna have to adopt that one. Yeah. I'm gonna have to adopt that saying right there.
Oh,
Just be
man.
like, we got Hoyoverse.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They're saying, "Oh man, look, they so thick, and it's really just Hoyoverse." Like,
Yep, exactly. It's like no, you can't be thick, you can't be black. It's not what we're here for. No, you gotta, you have to have the Hoyoverse treatment. You have to make sure that they look appropriate to be in the game. Right,
Man.
Masume? Oh man. What is one
that's
thing
crazy.
what is one thing that has helped you grow as a content creator?
One thing that's helped me grow as a content creator, I would say, like, from, I don't know, like, I have times where, like, I think just being unapologetically me, right, has helped me grow as a content creator. I also think, like, times where I have posted, like, snippets of freestyles or music that I've done has helped me out. I feel like, not gonna lie, being just being real, with folks has also helped me grow. So
Yeah.
that and some clips. So
Yeah, the clips do kind of help, you know. We appreciate you guys for clipping. I'm just saying, like, you help us out in many ways by just clipping like iconic moments during stream. What is the worst advice that you've received as a content creator?
worst advice that I've ever received as a content creator was to be less Xander.
You got me wanting to fight these folks who be saying this stuff to you.
To be like, like, so basically they didn't say that word for word, bar for bar, but basically they were saying basically to play more into the archetype of what I fit under. So they're like, play like they,
Oh,
like,
this
I
that
would fit
same
under,
person.
yeah, they were saying that, like, most people would look at me and be like, oh yeah, he's an e-boy. So like they were like, yeah, play more into that archetype and maybe you'll be more successful.
No.
And I'm just like,
No.
Like,
because your community can feel that you don't enjoy that. They would feel that immensely if you were not about that.
Yeah, and like most of the people that come to my streams don't even like that. So like,
exactly. Oh, people with this advice when they don't even know what the game is, or this is my biggest ick, where everybody want to be a mentor and they don't know how to mentor in the slightest, and don't actually do the studying or the research that actually benefits your growth, versus just picking some niche just because you see so and so over here thriving in it. that same formula is not going to work for everybody.
Yeah, like the people who say, "Oh, just pick a niche and stick to it," like that doesn't always work for everybody. You know,
Mm-mm.
like certain niches, yeah, cool. You know what I'm saying? The people who thrive off of that is because they probably got to it first. You know what I'm saying? They
Right.
probably got there first. They probably it's probably something that you know they probably thrive off of it because it's something that they do, that they like can genuinely talk about and show passion in, and like they could probably like do whatever it is well. So just because somebody might fit into that archetype or might fit into that does not necessarily mean that it's going to work out for them.
Mm.
Yeah, it's just weird.
Also, NFTs is wild.
Yeah, that's
I,
crazy.
I'd have to fight somebody if I heard that come out of somebody that I know's mouth. I'm like, oh no, you wanna get backhanded. It's okay. It's okay. Come here. Draw your face closer to my hand, please. I got something for you.
Oh
What's
man.
what's the biggest challenge you faced as a content creator and how did you overcome it?
The biggest challenge. It's something I still sometimes deal with, but like probably trying to like just get out of your head sometimes. Sometimes you
Mm,
got to get out of your head, cuz sometimes like you think like like the self-doubt kicks in.
yes, oh
Sometimes you just
God.
get a lot of self-doubt that kicks in. And it's just like, man, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can get this going on. Like it's difficult. So like sometimes I still deal with this, and that's something that I sometimes can like overcome. Sometimes I do need a little more time to overcome, but for the most part, that is one thing that like that I could say is just trying to get out of my head
Yeah.
and focusing on the bigger picture.
Not comparing yourself to other people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Understandable. Um, what's one piece of advice that you would give to somebody starting out as a content creator or VTuber?
One of the biggest pieces of advice that I would give is to just be you. Like there's so many different there's so many different people who get in here and they're like, oh man, I gotta be like Iron Mouse. Oh man, I gotta be like Shy Lily. Oh man, I gotta be like this. Like we already seen like the clones, right? Who
Mm-hmm.
literally will copy the personalities and do a bunch of things. And it's just like, yeah, that's already been done before.
Right.
Just do you, and you're probably, yeah, sure, you might not get the growth as quickly as maybe like if you were to go down this route, but like in the long term, like in the long run, you'll build a community that actually enjoys you and not what you've tried to be.
Right.
So ultimately I say just be you, because it's way more natural than like trying to play up or like copy somebody else. It's just never going to
Exactly.
work.
What is one underrated tool you use for your content you think everyone should utilize?
One tool. Um, hmm. Now this one's a little weird because I can't say everybody, but I would say for, especially for people who do 3D, I do know it can work on 2D, but like if you can get off of webcam tracking,
Mm,
I would suggest that. If you have the ability to do so, I would suggest that because it does allow you to be a little more expressive, and it, you know, frees up stress off of your computer
oh
by a lot.
yes.
So, yeah, we already do a lot of intensive stuff as is, but I mean, like, if you can save your PC the extra trouble, yeah, get off of webcam tracking.
Agreed. And it comes with like its fair share of complications too, because like I know, speaking of having multiple cameras connected to my machine, and this is the weirdest thing that I've ever had happen with technology. My old machine, so I had two cameras. One which was a Logitech like C920. It's like one of the first cameras that I started off with that just did like, 1080p. And then I upgraded to a 4K Logitech camera that I would use to, stream my IRL self most of the time. And so I had both of those plugged in at the same time. It might have been that or like another 4K camera that I had. Yeah, I think it was the other one because I don't think I had both of those Logitechs plugged in at the same time. But for whatever reason, just by having both of those cameras plugged in, I was trying to boot up a game in Steam, and one of my cameras, I guess, was so corrupt or just unreadable that it tried to do something weird with like my controller that I was plugged in that I had plugged into my computer to play that game, because all of a sudden just it was just mass button pressing that was happening whenever I booted up the game. So like I wouldn't even get to the start screen. It would just like flash in and out and in and out and in and out. And like when I tried to like finally get into the actual game, the character was moving on its own. Like I wasn't touching my controller at all. And it took me to like remove like every device or peripheral that I could think of that was plugged into my machine up until I got down to that camera. And as soon as I removed that camera, it worked just fine. And I'm just like,
That's actually strange.
like, how the hell did just one camera being plugged in to my computer hijack my computer so much to the point where it starts messing with other devices on my machine? And to this day, I still don't understand how corrupt it was. I just didn't plug it in anymore because I was just like, nope, we're done with this now. Because like if you delete some files on my machine, I'm going to actually crash out on somebody, and I don't know who I will have to crash out on.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Could have went for one of those like Elden Ring challenges. Be like, yo, be Elden Ring with only a webcam. Like
right. Oh man.
Yo, that's gotta be a challenge. It's just like, yo, I beat Elden Ring with an Xbox Connect. Like
listen, I watched somebody play one of the Soulsborne games with pizza slices. I think that was the wildest thing that I've seen on Twitch. I forget what component that they used, but they had like little devices like in the pizza slices themselves, and they used that to like get through one of the Souls games. And I'm just like,
I could just imagine it right now. Somebody spamming it like pepperoni, like they're like pepperoni sausage. Oh my god.
Yes, like who? I forget who it is. I want to say Callie knows. I think Callie knows, because I remember when a mutual of ours raided into that person, and I was just like, this is the first that I've seen anybody try to play a game with food, and like literal food as the controller. Like, help me understand. Someone is doing an Elden Ring run with potatoes right now. That's wild. I wonder if it's the same person.
Oh my lord, what's next? Are they gonna find out how to do it with lettuce? Like,
I know, right? It's just like each munch of a burger, it moves the character, and you just sit there chewing, and you just see the character moving, and you'd be like, oh, what is going on here? What are you
looking like Squidward when he tried biting into the Krabby for the first time?
Right. They do a lot of alternative controller runs. Might be the same it might be Masume, because I know there's somebody on this platform that does a lot of that, and I was just like, this is actually dope, and this is something that you need to keep doing because this is entertaining, because that's blowing my mind.
That is hilarious. Like
Um,
actually.
what is some advice that you can provide to? Well, I guess my question for you before you answer this one is, are you looking to get sponsored or do partnerships with other brands or companies? And if so, what are those brands and companies that you would love to partner with?
Well, I would like to someday. Um I would honestly like to see about maybe like I don't know. I feel like if I were to get something like I'm trying to think what's the name of it, like more so like something so like nothing in like particular, but something more like if I were to get something like oh yeah like advanced GG or something like that, or like
Mm,
if I got like merch with like I'm not gonna say like ooh market, but ooh market would probably be cool, you know,
yeah.
like stuff like that. Like I feel like that would be like getting merch, or maybe like if I like partnered up with like say like maybe like energy drinks, something like that. That'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be cool.
That's fair.
So yeah.
Any sort of like tech or like music companies that you would like to
Tech or
get?
music companies.
Yeah.
Ooh, man, if I could, oh man, I'm trying to think. So I have like a MIDI keyboard for when I'm making music, and it's basically just like a keyboard that you plug into your PC for like certain DAWs, certain digital audio workstations. So I have an Alesis, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I got like maybe like a sponsor or partnership with them somehow, that would be kind of cool. You know, you get the Xander Digital customized MIDI keyboard.
There you
That would be
go.
kind of fire.
Listen, manifest it. It could happen one day.
Yeah, you get the red and black design with like the keys on there, and like that'd be pretty fire, I think.
Hmm. What's a
Yeah,
fear you had about VTubing when you started out that's no longer there?
a
That's what
fear that
Rumu
I had
asks.
about a
Yes.
fear that I had about VTubing when I started out. Whew, I felt as if maybe I was just going to be put in one box and just like in this box and just cast aside. You know, like somebody like I would just be grouped up into just this one small little category and just tossed off to the side and just be streaming into the void forever.
This is not this.
Yeah. That is the fear I had.
Well, I'm glad that did not happen to you because we do appreciate you and your content very well.
Whew. Yeah.
Um, I won't berate you with too many more questions after this one, but what is some advice that you can provide to others looking for sponsorships or partnerships? Or how do you best market yourself if you were to pursue those brand opportunities? Um,
Well, obviously, if I were to pursue those opportunities, of course there has to be a certain sense of professionalism. Of course, have like a so like but what I have is kind of like I have like two like emails associated with VTubing, right? So I have the one for like, yeah, this is the one I use to like sign in to stuff, and then I have another one for like business inquiries, right?
mm-hmm.
So like if I'm going to do that, so if I'm going to pursue those, I want those to go towards like the business side of things that like I would like, you know, of course I'd have to have like a certain sense of professionalism. Anybody would need to have that if they're trying to pursue any type of partnership or, you know, sponsorship or anything like that. So I would say try and separate your social media stuff from your business stuff.
Mm.
You don't want those two melding together because obviously you might miss out on potential sponsorships or partnerships, because you know how it is. Like we get on these we get like a lot of social media updates, emails get flooded,
Oh
bunch of
yeah.
other stuff, you know and most of the time you're probably not sorting through every single message, right? Every
Right.
single email that you get, right? So yeah, I would say definitely try and separate that stuff.
That's fair. That's valid. Last question, and then we'll do closing remarks or any last questions that other folks from the crowd may have for Xander. But last question for me is, how do you navigate taking care of your physical and mental health as a content creator?
Well, I pride myself on physical health. Um, so I try to make sure that I at least get some form of exercise a day, even if it's before streaming, because I know sometimes that might help out with the energy of the stream. Um, and in terms of like mental health, well, I'm not gonna lie, I'm working on it, but
Yeah, I feel that wholeheartedly.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it. But like in terms of mental health, I mean, of course, having people in my corner that like I can talk to, you know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to work on it even more. Like, try and like see about even like, if need be, maybe go into therapy or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you need it. So like, um, these are things that like, you know, that like we got to remember to do, like
Yeah.
physical and mental, because like, yeah, we're streamers, we sit in this chair, sometimes we might not have the best of diet, you know what I'm saying? We might be
Yep.
sitting here like, we might be sitting here like doing like 8 hours of Elden Ring and eating like fries, and we haven't gotten up in like that whole 8 hours or something.
Oh God.
It's like
Ooh.
you gotta stretch, you gotta like make sure like those like limbs ain't like cramped up, you know what I'm saying? And then like
Right.
also like dealing with people on the internet can be mentally taxing too.
Yes, indeed.
We get caught up in like the analytics and the chats and all that other stuff, and sometimes we just forget to take care of ourselves in the process.
Yes.
So yeah.
It honestly felt Mazume, because there's certain games where it's just like I will do that for and I have to definitely watch myself come next month, because I'll be diving into retro games, typically games that I grew up playing as a kid. N64, PS1, listen, shut up, I know I'm old. But I remember when I did Mystical Ninja starring Goemon, I rarely took breaks. And I was tired after that 13-hour stream. I was very tired after that 13-hour stream of streaming that
I could
game.
believe it.
Oh God. But yeah, definitely fit in those breaks as quickly as you can. Rimu also asks, any funny mistakes you made as a streamer that you can laugh at currently?
Oh man. During year one, there was a day where I forgot to end stream.
Oh no.
I had forgot to end stream,
Oh
and
no.
like I went to bed, I went to work, I did all that. I came back, it was time for me to start stream, and I realized my stream was still running. Like my stream was still running, and it was
Oh.
going for like 14 hours, and I was just like, well.
Man, that bandwidth I ain't gonna ever get back. Oh man. Well, at least you didn't do anything embarrassing during that live time that other people could hear, right?
Nah,
Okay.
nah. Like the mic was muted, so
Thank
like it was
goodness.
just like there was like a muted mic, but like it was like 14 hours of a stream, and I was just like, well, I mean, it's time for stream anyways. We might as well just make it a 24.
Right. It's like, dang, Xander's been gone for a mighty long time. Is he coming back?
It was weird because like I gained followers while I wasn't even there. Like
That's
I was just
wild.
like, I'm like, who's following me? Like
It's just like, I like this guy. He stays quiet. Oh man, that's great. Well, it is close to that 4-hour mark, and I don't want to keep you past your bedtime. For me, past my, midnight hours before I pass out. No, I'm joking.
Yes, stream confirmation button is a blessing.
Yes, and honestly, Ramu, honestly, you know what? I'll say this. It might have been better for your stream to keep going versus mine when, like, I don't know if you remember V stream when that was a thing.
Oh yeah, I do.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Mm-hmm. So if you never used it, because I got into their streaming program when it was still alive. Rip V stream is no longer a thing anymore. But I remember one of the last streams that I did, because I've been away from it for so long, I hit the go live button, I think in OBS, but never on VStream, because it was like a 2-click system where you had to hit go live on OBS as well as in their creator dashboard in order for viewers to see you. And so I hit it in OBS because that's just what I do, habitually. But I forgot to do it in VStream. And for the next hour and 30, I was streaming to pretty much people who were just sitting there waiting for me to go live during that whole hour and 30 minutes, talking to myself until one viewer said, "Man, I wonder when Blaze is going to be live." And I looked down at that chat and I looked over in my dashboard and I was like, oh, I am a fool. I've been talking to no one for an hour and a half.
Oh man.
Oh, so at least you got some hours and some followers into that one. Mine is just like, people are like, dang, Blaze late as hell and ain't said shit. They really were. Oh man. But it has been a joy and a pleasure to collab with you once again, Xander. Thank you for coming onto the show. Do you have any closing remarks, and also where the people can find you the most and consume your content?
Well, the number one place you can find me is over here on Twitch. Is it okay if I drop
listen, I got you. I got you.
Okay.
I got you.
All right. Cool. Number one place
and also,
you can find me.
You can drop any links that you want to in chat. Well, actually, never mind. Well, no, you should. You might try it. Just try it. Just see if you can. Raz may not snipe you.
Okay. Hold on. Let me just.
Because if you've lurked in my stream enough.
Yeah, I'm just gonna drop my card here, and boom, and let's see.
Yeah, Raz didn't snipe you. Good.
All right.
You've been here long enough. But yes, go follow Xander on all those socials that he's listed in this card. Go do it. Go do it now. Raz trusts you, so you're good. But thank you so much for joining me. We got to do another collab at some point in time. I don't know when.
Of course.
We got to. Oh, speaking of which, I got a question for you. Do you like buckshot roulette, or have you ever played it?
Oh, yes, God, I do.
We got to play that at some point. You have to play that because
Yeah.
I found a newfound addiction and I still have not played that game yet. And I'm trying to see who all is interested in that game so that way I can have some
Oh
folks
yeah.
to possibly play with in the future.
Yeah,
So
that sounds like it'd be fun.
awesome. But thank you guys for joining us on another episode for Uppies for Beauties and Baddies. Before you guys head out, y'all know what we like to do. We like to raid to other folks. And so we are going to show some love. Obviously, during Black History Month, raid into some other black VTubers. Which, speaking of which, I already see somebody who is hardly ever live when I am still live. So I guess we will go visit them.
Ooh, ooh.
Oh, they're playing the game that Tiffany was playing. I did not know they were playing this. So we're gonna go raid. Hold up, give me a second. Give me a second. I gotta type in their name. There we go. We're gonna raid Shreya. So she
Ooh,
is
I know them.
playing some. Right? I know them too. They are playing some Hello Kitty Island Adventure, and they're also doing a partner push. So if you want to help support that, definitely do so. Copy the raid messages. Thank you, Salem. Copy one of those. If you're a sub, copy the sub raid message. If you're not a sub, you can copy the regular one. I also need to change out my sub raid message because I'm getting tired of seeing it. I want to see some other stuff. So. But we're gonna go say hi to Tria. Tomorrow I may or may not be live. I'll honestly don't know. I gotta speak with somebody about it. But it's gonna be another collab stream. So depending on where that stands and what we're doing, it may be a charity stream. It may not. I don't know. I genuinely have no idea because what is on my schedule right now is probably not gonna be the stream that I do. But any case, I'll keep you guys in the know. But again, thank you, Xander. Thank you guys for joining me on Uppies for Beauties and Baddies. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful evening, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.